Welcome to the Brawl Stars Championship! The stream you'll never want to leave. This month we have got one more spot in the World Finals. The North American region has got a big question mark on it, but in a few short hours we will soon find out who's moving on. What do we got up first though in the LATAM region, Ark?
We've got me messing up my harmonies, followed by Ace 1 versus KGP, and then KGP versus INTZ, followed by Ace 1 versus INTZ.
That's absolutely right. And in the North American region, Tempo Storm DUDUDUNGA. Gonna start things out. Why don't we take a look at the leaderboard, though? INTZ way far ahead, up on top of the LATAM South leaderboard with 250 points, unable to be unseated. They are definitely going on to the World Finals, Ark.
Yeah, INTZ have been absolutely dominating the competition in the LATAM South region for many, many months. They've been unstoppable in many of the circumstances, but I think today a lot of prize money still at stake, so teams will be fighting it out for that. And there we see that question mark over the North America and LATAM North region to be decided later between Omen Elite and Tempo Storm.
Exactly, those top two teams vying for that spot. Only 10 points separate them, and it's all coming down to this final month of competition. But bouncing back to our first region, LATAM South, we'll see Ace 1 versus KGP to start things off.
Yeah, we've seen KGP playing a number of times, very, very competently so. Those players have been working together for many, many months, but very keen to see how Ace 1 will go up against them. I would say that KGP arguably maybe the more favorite and more known team, but nonetheless, definitely this is the time when we get to see how these players perform under this kind of pressure.
Exactly right. Now, if you were tuning in the first few months, you might remember these players from KGP as the former Red Cannons, so they are still in it, competing at the top level, racking up those points. They aren't going to get a chance to move on to the World Finals, but there's a lot of money on the line for this month of competition, Ark. In fact, $9,000 for the first place team, and only $2,000 down to $1,250 for third place. So first place gets a big whopping prize, a lot of competition on the line here, and they've been practicing for many, many weeks to justify their spot here as one of the top three teams in the region.
Yeah, that kind of money can go a very, very long way for these players, many of them aspiring content creators and such, so it makes a huge, huge difference. Bans are in. Ace 1 that could be banning Max, and KGP banning Mr. P. Very different bans to what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, very interesting. We saw a lot of Poco banning yesterday, and I'm very happy that our Boney brother will be here for the Spook Timber Finals of the Brawl Stars Championship. Max and Mr. P eliminated means that we've got a bit more of those like kind of speedy sort of mid-range brawlers out of the count. Expect to see a lot of healing in these upcoming matches, maybe some Slambulance back in action, but the first map is going to be a bounty setup where Canal Grande will have that one single star in the middle. First team to grab it will get the advantage, but it's all about the kills after that, Ark.
Any Colette on the map is my first thought. Nothing to be seen just yet. Colette is a playable brawler in this final monthly finals, so look out for her later, potentially between these teams with those bans in play. But already it's Ace 1 straight back into the spawn. This is a very, very awkward start for them, and already the trap in play from KGP.
One star gained by KGP and a beautiful spread out here on the edges. A great super by Kado is going to really paint those poor Ace players into a corner. Parzival taking a big hit, though, is going to be forced to retreat and won't be able to continue pressing that attack. Keda, meanwhile, has been applying so much artillery firepower into that corner, once again painting them all into that little tiny spot. They are having a lot of trouble breaking out, aren't they, Ark?
Super impressive start from KGP, and Kadu on that right-hand side just locking it down so well for his teammates, and every time getting super and locking down the right is a really, really great strategy. And it's KGP with the 1 star, that mid-star, no kills or deaths just yet, but Ace 1 in a terrible spot early on.
KGP have got a little bit less damage in the long-range section, though, especially with Guigo running Jackie. That's a close-range brawler, and it seems they haven't been able to stack up as much firepower as Ace has been able to, running 3 long-range brawlers, popping down every single attempt so far from KGP to get some value out of this cornering.
Exactly, but Parzival has but he goes in on Emmerich, gets the takedown.
Wow!
With his teammate Greekle there, a star, 2 stars into the pocket of KGP, and that was the moment that they were looking for. They can now slowly go on the retreat, but Kadu on the right hand side is low. Gonna pop Gadget, stay alive.
Has got that revitalize ability where he can gobble up those bushes and stay healthy. He's done it and is staying really high up in hit points. Guigo's trapped in the corner, but even with those 4 stars rather claimed by Ace, that's not going to be able to tie it up. The time runs out and KGP have done it. That early pressure really playing out to their advantage. That was a great pickup for them.
Yeah, Ace will have to be very, very cautious in the next game to hold mid-control early on, because that was not the way that they wanted to start the day in any way, shape, or form. Sprout can do that in Canal Grande, can get very, very aggressive and lock down lanes is such a great thing to do on Canal Grande. So whether now we see a bit of a brawler switch up, I think it would probably be wise under these circumstances.
Yeah, I usually think of Sprout as a long-range brawler who plays more of a support role, trying to hold on to objective areas. But Canal Grande is a really strange map in that it's got this really super long river going right down the middle. If you're able to get Sprout all the way to the other side, you can set up his super to deny access to half of the map, and that really puts the defenders in an awkward position, guaranteeing essentially that win for the first game by KGP.
Yeah, we're moving on into the next game. Let's see then now whether we're going to see some different brawlers making an appearance. We're going to see BB from Kadu this time. Actually, it's going to be KGP swapping away from the Sprout, and Emmerich going with the Gene, looking to get support from his teammates on those pulls, get those all-important takedowns.
KGP locking down that star early on, but not grabbing it, trying to bait out an aggressive play from Ace, not finding it, but nonetheless, they're going to go on a rampage down to the right side corner. Kada is going to be supporting as well. Takes a few rockets and he's forced back, but that's going to be a good early pickup for KGP. Grabbing the star, but no! Pulled back! Can he survive?
Guigo going in, getting some pressure now. The bow mines there just purely on defense. And now it's KGP on the retreat. Only 1 star still from that mid area of the map in their hands. No takedowns just yet, but a much better start from Ace One, looking far more aggressive and looking to control the mid and not get pushed back into their spawn trap. I think for me, that is a much better way to play out this second game.
Absolutely. KGP have brought that Slambulance combination, and that is going to be really easy for Ace to deal with. There's so much long-range damage. They get the perfect pull on the enemy Poco, and that's going to leave these 2 tanks high and dry. No healing support for them whatsoever. They're actually going to aggress the Ace line, running straight in there and finally getting Poco to back them up a bit here. He's got his supercharged, so this could be a really awkward spot here. If Ace get pushed back any further, KGP could charge in for maximum firepower.
Yes, Ace One going to be very, very cautious here. Kadu knows that he can sweep this right-hand side here and go in aggressively, but no! The chain hand pull combined with the bow mine stuns, and Guigo there is there all alone. Nothing he can do about it. The lead just got extended so much more there by that one play from Ace One.
Shake, rattled, and rolled off the map. KGP really forced to fire away on all cylinders, charging straight into the action, and even with a clever pull out the left side, grab a kill and narrow the gap, but 11-7 in favor of Ace will make this first set tied up, Ark.
Wow, this has switched things up really, really nicely. Swapping out to Gene, definitely the play for me there. Swapping away from their previous comp and being more cautious of the prospect of Sprout being a brawler, which KGP have shown in the previous round. They really play well. So I like the way that they've adapted in that round, making it far more interesting. And I think this last decider could really be quite a close one.
I think you saw the key exchange there right before that last just shellacking by Ace. You saw that tripwire mine going off from Bo, and that is exactly what they're looking for. That stun is super effective, especially when all your opponents are clustered up on the exact same tile. That was an easy shutdown for Ace, and if they can just do that one more time, they should be able to wrap up this first set.
Yeah, for me, Bo and Gene are in a fantastic place. If you're not aware, there was a recent balance change which saw the
God,
be increased by some brawlers, and now Gene can cycle with 3 direct hits straight to super and then back around. You can be very cautious and look past them.
Oh my goodness!
Multiple 7 stars for KGP.
No regret or remorse from KGP, who are just dominating Ace in the early game. A 7-0 scoreline as Filipino has just been knocked about, pulled up by Parzival and reduced to rubble. Guigo has done it. picking up 2 kills early on and really finding some fantastic support for his buddies.
But a missed pull from Parsival and a return pull from Eric. It's the takedown 4 stars now in Ace One's pocket, taking a bit of the pressure off. And Parsival's going to have to be a far more cautious player to make sure that those pulls are hit, because every pull in this particular game mode counts.
Filipino's trying to bait Guigle to come on down. He's run into a couple of tripwire mines before, but isn't going to get hit this time. Emmerich gets the kill on Kada, but that's still not enough to narrow the gap. A 7-6 advantage for KGP as the mid game has really swung momentum back toward Ace's favor, Ark.
Yeah, in their favor, but look at the timer, 40 seconds on the clock. For me, KGP have got to start pushing forwards a little bit here to be more aggressive. Otherwise, in these final seconds, they're going to find themselves in a rock in a hard place, right back into their spawn. Duncan knows he's on 10 HP!
Wow!
Still alive. Emmerich with an amazing gadget there, keeping Duncan alive with that star power, those healing puffs as well. My goodness me, a close call for Ace One.
Little tiny magic puffs, the marshmallows that keep you up. Gene has barely kept Duncan alive, but with a charge in there, the first kill is good, but knocked back and rebuffed. Ace One is down for the count. KGP have delivered the final punch. Great job to them. Having lost game 2, they pulled the comeback off and got the set.
My goodness me. The turns in that game, but it was KGP on top then going into the next game mode. And yeah, I find it just super interesting when we cross the regions and see different brawler metas, but we are seeing some patterns definitely occurring, I would say, in the pro scene. Max, for one, being banned, I think is a clear-cut sign, and there's the stats to show it. 11 kills to KGP, 9 to Ace One. The stars very much in KGP's pocket.
Yeah, more damage dealt by Ace, but fantastic heals by KGP kept their heads above water. I also think that Ace actually had the better response in game number 3 with the 2v1 against Sprout over on the right side. That really denied a lot of the utility that he had generated in game 1, shutting down his opponents and being able to just like jail them at the bottom of the map. But ultimately, that left them a little bit too light-handed out on the left side. Too much firepower dumped in and clever shots. Time and again, Gene pulls, getting that 2v1 in KGP's favor. That's what helped them pick up the first set.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Well, going into Brawl Ball next, Triple Dribble. Be interesting to see whether Sprout makes an appearance here. It's a viable option, but I don't know. It's a bit of a tough brawler to be on defense. So I think BBs could be on the mix here as well, with Max being out of the equation. But we're going to see Gene, and that's no surprise that we are going to see Sprout as well, and Tick, double throw of the KGP.
As well as the newly buffed Spike. He gets a kill early on as Emmerich really underestimates the competition, getting destroyed by Guigle, whose buffed up bombs are really dealing a lot of damage. Throws a super out, and Filipino is going to be down for the count in a really awkward spot there, as all 3 KGP brawlers are now on the march to victory, pulling the ball with them. It's just that little super from Kada that actually kind of slowed Parzival down. Might have been a trip up from KGP there, but they're still on a really aggressive play.
Yeah, look at the area spread here from KGP as Guigle, look at Guigle, goes down to the shots from Filipino, but the double thrower strapped with Tick as well. The amount of area control which they can get, but the problem with KGP is going to be on defense, and now with Ace One on the push forwards, we might see a bit of a turnaround. Emmerich popping gadget just stays alive to get back to max HP now for this push coming forwards.
Parzival rebuffs the enemy Barley, and with that, it's a 3v1. Duncan in a really tough spot. He's going to continue firing away, trying to make the most of that close-range damage against some throwers who might have overplayed their hand a bit here. Kada is going to be launching some additional shots out here against Emmerich, but the super's no good. Knocks his opponent forward and will have to retreat back to his own spawn zone. Parzival's damaged, and he's having to pull back as well. But all 3 brawlers from KGP are staying alive. I don't know how many kills Ace have got, but KGP are definitely ahead on damage this game, Mark.
Ahead in damage and control, it seems, for the most part. Duncan popping gadgets to stay alive, and Emmerich now coming up to support his teammates, popping down the super there. He's going to make all teammates invisible. The ball from Guigle is there, but Filipino goes down. The ball will stay there, and we might be heading into overtime, and KGP cannot push forwards here.
So dangerous to go up against a Spike close range like that, and even with a big hit point advantage, Filipino got destroyed by Guigle. They traded for each other's lives, and that's going to leave KGP without the goal that they were hoping for. But Ace 2 have been sent packing every single time they make an attack happen.
Here we We see KGP with 20 seconds left. It's a great spot to stay in if they can hold this position with the ball in this spot. Going into overtime, these boxes will be going down in 10 seconds. Curve pull value from Gweekle going out there as well now on Super, but a bit of a misplacement there. Actually, no, maybe putting it on the ball to prevent Ace1 from hitting it early. But now look at this, Ace1 on the push forwards, but down goes Emmerich. Filipino surely not far behind as well. This is disastrous, but Ace1, super shot!
They've done it! What an incredible shot from Filipino. The super put Gweekle and Parzival back in their own goal line and out of range to block Duncan's amazing super shot at maximum range. Fantastic footwork from Ace. I didn't think it was possible, but they pulled out the victory.
It was so commendable. I mean, to get that spot right with the players advancing on the line there was such an amazing shot on goal, and my goodness me, it couldn't have come at a better time.
I think they had to call the lineman to check and see if the ball actually rolled over, because those two defenders were both right on top of the ball as soon as it got there. Still, great job to Ace1. I think that really shows the weakness of running a double thrower comp. When all the walls come tumbling down, you don't have that positional advantage anymore. There's no tactical benefit to being a thrower if their line of sight gives a direct opportunity for your opponents to attack you. Even a thrower like Barley is really dangerous close range when he can just shove those bottles right up your bum and send you back to the spawn zone.
Exactly that. And Ace1 now swing out to Carl. I think it's actually not a bad shout. Duncan there getting value on Gweekle and Parzival, looking to try to deter that position. Does so successfully as well there. Emmerich as well going with BB, and that was what I was saying before the game started would be a viable option. It's now a question of whether Gweekle can stay alive to focus on Emmerich, and he goes down to...
Oh my goodness. This is going to be a goal. Look at this offense. Ace1 will not be denied. A 3-brawler shutdown. KGP's defenses has shattered, and Ace1 have gotten the first goal in the first minute.
Which is the perfect way to play this game out, because as you rightly so said, like, throwers here are very, very dominant, and to get an early goal is going to put pressure on KGP, and if Ace1 can trick down the timer, but no, down goes Filipino. Now Parzival pushing up to Gweekle. A great chance here if KGP can capitalize here.
Emmerich sends that spike back, and the Cactus is going to have to recuperate before it can attack again. Gweekle gets another kill and sets up his super as well to deny Emmerich access. I think having both Spike Super and Barley firing off bottles over the whole map has really complicated Ace's attack strategy. Fortunately for them, they got that goal early on, so all they've got to do is play defense for another minute 10. Duncan doing a great job applying a lot of pressure up here. Kada has finally gotten the ball and is going to start pushing back up again. Weagle's going to get the pass, but he won't push with it, instead trying to get some damage off on Emmerich. The defense is really heavy from the Ace players today, Ark.
I quite like the strategy from Gweekle using his super to block off the ball a lot. He's running curveball, so you're not going to get any fertilizer value from having it on yourself, which makes sense to Gweekle going in now with a chance. Can he make it? My goodness me, what an opportunity, and it was a very, very tight call to make, and now Ace1 able to go on the push forwards.
Yeah, attempted trick shot there on the very far angle, but couldn't get rewarded for it. 2 brawlers on defense, but hey, Ace has scored with 2 brawlers standing right in front of the goal line as well. KGP thought they had a chance right there. Couldn't pull it off, but you got to give them credit for the attempt, especially when they're behind a goal and down in the set overall.
Well, there's not much time now, because who knows it? 20 seconds, he's got to get this ball forwards. He's got to make something happen. The Barley Super's going to slow him down in that respect. And Duncan going in on Gweekle, decides better of it and comes back into the mid. But the pressure now is all on KGP.
Desperate plays are desperate times. Gweekle gets the pass. Gets it. They equalize with 1 second left.
No way! I can't believe they found the time to do that. Now Parzival got a super shot. No way!
The odds makers in Vegas have been completely upended. Ace, winning for 2.5 minutes, have lost their grip on the game. KGP show that's why you never give up, you never surrender. 2 back-to-back goals grab victory from the jaws of defeat.
KGP played that so well. In those final seconds, the stress on your shoulders is so much, and they stayed calm and collected. They got that first goal and they just rode that wave. And then before you know it, the switcheroony, Woody.
Switcheroony indeed, Ark. Very well said. I couldn't have come up with a better word myself. I love to see it. KGP fighting back, and Ace looking to take their first set are going to have to find another way to make it happen. You can't let up at all. I think Ace thought they had it in the bag. They figured, you know what, we're just going to defend for a little while. There's no way KGP can get past us. But they got too much in their own heads and let KGP get past the goal line there. Guigo getting very close. Can he get it past the goal? I think he's got a shot here. He took it. It's in, Ark.
KGP are not slowing down. I like the Jackie pick, and Kadu staying on the BB as well. I think smart. Emmerich going to Surge. I'm not too sure about. He's got to get those stacks, and now look at this Guigo popping gadget for the speed. Pass to Kadu. Can he make something of this? It's going to be tricky. Down he goes to Surge. Guigo not finished there though. Now he is.
The triple heavy Slambulance comp from KGP running a Poco for heals on the backside have been really heavy and hard to rebuff. KGP grabbing the first goal now have put Ace in an awkward position, and they are starting to soup up here. You see Emmerich getting that Surge leveled up. That's going to be a lot of damage coming out, but not if you're that close. Kaduz going to force him to gadget back, and that's going to be an awkward spot for Emmerich to have to catch up to.
Great plays from Kadu there. Choosing to leave Emmerich, I was surprised to see because of the fear of the stacks remaining, but then just bouncing around, preventing the goal, and then coming back around. And now Guigo going in. Can he make something?
Oh my God!
Goal! They have done it!
Like a Roman centurion, the phalanx marches on. These barbarians on defense. Ace have got nothing against such a magnificent Slambulance comp, tanking straight through thousands of damage to deliver a victory for KGP.
Wow, I mean, but you have got to hand it to Ace. One, they started to adapt a bit more in that game mode and started to create some opportunities, and that goes a long, long way. But now, with KGP 2 sets ahead, you got to ask yourself, I mean, how much time is there really left to get that sweep? They've got to start making a lot more changes if we're going to be seeing that happen. Going into minecart madness, gem grab. Is this going to be the game which allows them to come back here? I
want y'all at home to go back, rewind the video, and find the point at which Ace were ahead in the set 1-0. Find the point where they had a 1-0 goal advantage over KGP with seconds left. Screenshot that, send it to your friends, and ask which team do you think is going to win this set? Because KGP pulling off 4 goals in a row in a matter of like a couple of minutes after that was one of the most impressive comebacks I have ever seen in the Brawl Stars Championship.
We couldn't believe it. We've seen, in fact, Brawl Ball this weekend has been incredible to watch. I mean, yesterday we saw SK Gaming have, I think, the fastest win in Brawl that we've ever seen in a monthly final. So these players are really, really bringing in the heat. And what a time to display such levels of skill.
Well, we're not going to let up the pressure at all. KGP with a massive 2-0 set advantage over Ace. We're going to be starting off this third set. It's all about minecart madness. The gems are popping out, and Kadu will be the gem carrier for KGP up top. Grabs the first 2 and has really been able to shut out those Ace competitors from moving in. Love the golden Piper skin, but it's not working too well for Emmerich so far.
Yeah, Sprout is a real dominant gem carrier in this particular map, and we saw it played to perfection yesterday by CODEMAGIC Purple. I gotta say, Ace 1 are gonna struggle with Kadu in doing what he's doing, and he's already on 6 gems. I mean, this game could be on countdown before you know it, Woody.
Duncan knocked back by that minecart. He played his hand a little bit too aggressively against Guigo. They're firing away, but unable to reclaim center position. KGP knocked down by the minecart, and that's an opportunity for Duncan to repel. Guigo's going down! He's been cornered! The minecart can't deny access!
It might be a blessing in disguise. Kadu was able to pick up again. Guigo did not want to be gem carrier there, but Duncan, oh my goodness me, with the favoritism from the minecart RNG going in to get that takedown. A big play for Ace 1. If nothing else, it gave them back mid control, and that's a dangerous thing in gem grab.
if nothing else, is the least you can say about such a big opportunity to turn the game around. 7 gems held by 2 brawlers, and both of them finished off by the minecart. That is some of the worst positional play we've seen. Really unfortunate result for KGP, and yet somehow they're still holding on to all the gems. Ace does not get the opportunity to steal those, and finally in the mid game, we're seeing some sparks fly, Ark, but KGP are going to hold all the cards at the end. 14 gems, and the countdown in their favor is surely going to be a win for the leading team.
I was just going to jump in and say this is perfectly designed for Emmerich to get maximum value, but he then got overconfident and went down with those gems, going back, straight back into the pockets of KGP. Could do a great wall there at the end, and they will take the first round of gem grab.
Wow, Ace really missed a big opportunity there to grab those gems and pull them back to safety. KGP twice losing their gem carriers to really big hits. I gotta hand it to Duncan. I think he was the most heads-up player from the Ace squad, grabbing those kills and helping out his teammates there. Emmerich not really able to do a whole lot close range as Piper, though. I think there might not have really been any big mistakes on Ace's side. They just didn't have the right brawler comp to make the most of that opportunity.
I gotta say though, I think Emmerich could have been a bit more laid back in that situation. The map was so wide open, and it meant that the gem carrier for KGP playing Sprout was able to not really contest the center. So I feel like with a couple of gadget pops, I think he's running homemade recipe there as well with that homing shot there. I think that Ace One just had to hold the control, and they got a bit overconfident. Dropping those gems was a disastrous thing to happen at that moment of the game.
Yeah. Well, Max is a really great brawler to capitalize on opportunities like that. When an opponent's gem carrier goes down, you pop your super, dash in there and grab it all. But Max being banned in this match means that there was no one who really had that super fast and high damage output ability to get into the action and steal them all. That's clever playing from KGP, and they are now at the match point. They just need one more win, and that $9,000 is all theirs.
Yeah, no Max, no Mr. P, and that does make a big difference on this map. Definitely Mr. P can be a real deterrent when it comes to collecting those gems from the mid here. Gweekle's actually going to go to Piper this time, and Emmerich with the pull, and no swoop for Gweekle. He just got it at the end, not enough time, and that's a great start for Ace One. Much, much better than we saw in the previous round.
Filipino playing very, very aggressively as Poco, typically a backline attacker, but Kedo has just really smacked right into him, taking control again of that right lane. It's double heals from Ace this time around. Duncan as Pam should get that healing turret set up again soon. Emmerich doing his best to keep Kedo far away, and that's exactly what you got to do. A really heavy brawler like Bibi can bash your brains in if you don't have the damage to knock her back before she gets to close range.
Great ball as well there from Emmerich, opening that map. So important under a spawn trap with Sprout. It's actually a triple heal because you've got the healing puffs gadget there, the star power, I stand corrected, from Gene there. So the amount of healing abilities from Ace One is huge. There's more from Kadu. The pressure to stay alive. He goes down. 6 gems. Actually,
oh my God,
Emmerich's down as well.
The most aggressive Pam we've seen all day, and Filipino's going to rely on that support out front to grab another couple gems here. Advantage for Ace One as they're going to get their 8th very shortly. That Poco's doing an amazing job topping off all of his brawlers, and beautiful pulls from Gene back to back to back. Emmerich has done it for his Ace squad. They just need one more, and the countdown starts for Duncan.
Oh, Kadu bouncing off the minecart there. It was such value as well from Emmerich in that pull because it broke the Sprout wall, rendering it useless straight away there. And now the pressure. Ace One 4 seconds away. I don't see something changing here. I think they're going to hold on just about, Woody.
Excellent effort from KGP. Parzival firing on all cylinders, but there's just so much healing from these 3 brawlers that you can't get through them. Thousands of hit points on that front line, and the wall will hold for Ace One. Their dreams of victory are still alive. The reverse sweep seems almost impossible with KGP at a match point on a 2-0 set line, but don't count out Ace One.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, this is the best outcome which they could be hoping for, really. I mean, they were on match point, so Ace One now have a chance to stay in the game. In the next game mode, which is going to be either Heist or Siege, both of which have some base race opportunities, some RNG involved as well. So if they can just get through a territorial mode, then it might go into their favor. Colette making an appearance from KGP to get rid of some of those tanky HPs.
Heavy hospital heals once again from Ace 1. The triple heal is going to keep their brawlers topped off and safe on the back line. Not much aggression yet from KGP, but gotta say I'm happy to see Colette coming on out. Her basic attack is going to deal a percentage damage of the enemy's health, and that is really ripping into Pam heavy and hard.
Yeah, her gadget packs a punch as well, dealing a ton of damage. The other thing I would say is her super can dash straight into gems and return them safely just as quickly. So look out for that play. Kudu will be absolutely looking to capitalize on any opportunity to grab gems that are lying on the map.
Excellent observation, Ark. We still see Ace holding on to the midfield, though, with Parzival doing his best to fire off, but there's so much open range that they've been doing a great job dodging those tick bombs. I'm not quite sure he's getting maximum value here, especially when Emmerich is looking so threatening and charging into the right lane every now and then, getting a few pop shots off here. One clever pull could really shut down Parzival in a very short amount of time, and with 2 shots like that, able to take down the enemy super, I think Parzival's in a really dangerous spot. Finished off as Kada does use that super to grab a few more gems.
Yeah, he was wondering whether to use it or to save it. In the end, he went for it, knowing that it would have turned the game into a much closer counter position as Parzival goes down there on the right-hand side, and Ace 1 locking down their lanes here is a really smart thing to do, but I think actually Filipino is down, and that is going to make a big change if Emmerich does not get this gem, and he's struggling to achieve it. A great time for KGP to come back here, Woody.
Kadu knew that he could win the 1v1 against Filipino playing as Poco, but at what cost? Your gem carrier going so far down in hit points, that basically is going to shut out your opportunity to rack up more gems for a few more crucial seconds here, as we're getting very, very close to the countdown opportunity. A beautiful charge in from Kadu is going to grab the gems, but not safe enough to hold on to him. Countdown starts for Ace, and all they've got to do is get back to their base, holding on to those 10, 15. That's surely it. They have done it, Ark, claiming set number 3 and keeping their dreams alive.
What a capitalization there of an opportunity from Emmerich, and KGP were just not able to maintain that control. Going down with those gems at that moment was the only thing that was keeping this game alive, and as a result, the reverse sweep dream is staying alive.
This has been a really close match throughout, and the 2-0 scoreline in KGP's favor did not really tell the full story. They have only been picking up 2-1 set wins, and so I'm really not surprised at all to see Ace make the comeback happen here and now. If the future sets play out to their favor, especially if they like running on those really heavy control-based maps like Siege, they could still pull this off.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really keen to see now what the next game mode is, to see what opportunities might lie in wait here for Ace 1, and they've had a couple of games now to kind of see what is in the minds of KGP, so they've got some things to use to their advantage. They kind of know their strategy now almost. So the next game mode is going to be Siege, so not as potentially RNG in terms of the base race value that you get from a heist, similar to Gem Grab, but very much around control.
That's what to say about that stat line you just saw between Ace and KGP. KGP dealing way, way more damage. But if we had seen healing total done by Ace, I think you would have seen a much closer story. Running triple heals, that's what kept them alive, even with so much damage being stacked on by KGP. You can do your best to deal the damage, but if you've got really great healing brawlers that can keep themselves topped off, it doesn't matter how much damage you deal.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why we saw Poco being banned so much in the European region yesterday and the APAC region is precisely that. Poco can just give your team so much value, and securing kills is so important to regain control.
Well, Ace pump in there super fast early on, grab a couple of bolts, and that'll give them the first bot. But KGP have gotten 3 bolts of their own, and so it's not really a clear advantage for either team just yet. I'd say Ace holding on to the mid is going to be a pickup for them that will help them grab the second bot. But 3 bolts already for KGP, and the opportunity to surround these defenders in the middle of the map is going to be a bit of a tricky position for Ace.
Yep. Emmerich using those healing puffs for Filipino. That's come alive as long with a gadget as well, but the second gadget pop there is actually wasted, so he's only got 1 left now.
The triple bubble pop from Duncan, grabbing all 3 enemies in a line, was a beautiful play there. That super dealing maximum damage. Really got to hand it to him to be able to notice that opportunity.
There's level 7 coming in, though, for Ace 1's defender. A few knocks from Duncan early on. He goes down. It might not be so bad if he can get his... with a nice slowdown from Filipino as well. That's good to see. Maple Syrup coming into play. But the super there from Kudu. Packed a punch there. That's a lot of damage, 40% damage for KGP.
Yeah, bring a bucket and a mop to clean up all that damage. Down to 60% advantage for KGP now, but it's all about the bolts leading into this final bot. Who is going to get more? Ace with a clear lead right now as Parzival is going down. That bolt dropped on the ground in an opportunity to seal their victory. Duncan will grab it all and retreat. There's no need to attack when you're that far ahead on the bolt score. Just let them accumulate in your Ike, and that is going to be it. Ace 1 behind on damage, but with that third and final siege bot at level 10, they have got it.
Well, they're going to make it count. It could be a defensive, and now look at the damage. It's already rolling in. It's already over, I think, Woody. Look at this as Ace 1 keeping it going. We are seeing it happening before our eyes, Woody. The reverse sweep now looking like it's even more of a possible outcome here with this first round of Siege in their favor.
Regal playing Ring Around the Rosie as he twists and turns to keep that bot off the Ike, but not enough. Down to 8%, single digits for KGP. They have got to be reeling from the last couple rounds of this match. They were at match point in that gym grab game, and all of a sudden Ace is just one more win away from tying it up.
This is the danger now. Ace 1 are getting their confidence, they're getting their flow, they're getting and hitting more shots and pulls, and that is going to make a huge difference here. One game away from going equal in the sets is disastrous if you're KGP.
Well, we can say that KGP are in an awkward position one more time, but I think that the more interesting thing would be to talk about what brawler swaps we might see coming in from Ace this time around. Where was the Sprout that last game? I feel like Sprout can get a lot of value in this setup, and the teams were not keen to bring him.
Gene, for me, is in a better place right now. You know, those 3 shots and being able to cycle super makes him just as viable. Like, Sprout has the stalling capability, of course, on defense, but Gene has the pull to pull the bot as far away from the Ike as possible. I think Greek, although changes to Jackie, is a really smart player. It's going to mean that Ace 1 have got to work far better together with those Gene pulls to get that value in. And look at this, already the control much more with KGP.
Oh yeah, they set up the sign, caution women at work, as Jackie pulverizes the competition, using that big old super to draw in enemies and then knocking them back. KGP might not have gotten that first bot, but with a bigger bolt score, they are really in a dominant spot for the second round. Lots of Barley shots going off all over the left side of the map. Shut it down. That is a toxic wasteland, just like Chernobyl, but the defense from KGP has held on. No brawlers going down, and a great pull from Parzival will get the leg up for their squad once again. 7 bolts to 5. It looks like KGP are getting the second bot arc.
Yeah, but I'm curious to see what team it's going to go to, because ultimately there's a lot of bolts on both sides of the coin here. If control can be established straight after the push, then we might see a return which can be all or nothing, and that's a dangerous place to be in Siege. It's going to be a defense for Ace 1, but look at the bolts. They're going to be banking now into the next round. 9 ready for the next round. They've already established the same level, and where are KGP right now? It's only Parzival placing damage. They're going to go for the mid-control next round, it seems.
That is a
That's an amazing defense.
Risky play to be sure from KGP. They need to grab basically all of the bolts to prevent Ace from getting a bot, but 8% damage is better than nothing. Or actually, hold on, KGP are losing right now on Ike damage. I read that wrong. They're down to 92%, and a tie is not good enough for them. They have actually got to get this bot if they want the win.
And Filipino winning side there could do is a huge outcome if Guigle banks these 2. There's still one, I think, actually, there's still be enough time, surely. Ace 1 are going to get a push here, and look how little they have to do to win this round. The smiles from Duncan because he knows it. There's so little work needed to do. Filipino just throw over their heads, and it's GG right there.
GG for that. A huge hit early on brings 8% of the hit points off of the KGP's Ike, even without any sieges. And yet they still get that last siege bot, Ace, in a super comfortable spot, not even seeking to finish up that Ike. Gonna let the bot do it anyways. Ace are playing so clever today, and KGP have got pie on their face from that last round now.
We're going the whole hog, Woody. The final set then is going to come down to Heist, and that is not a good game mode if you're KGP with the prospect of a base race being there. I mean, there's no real telling sometimes whether you're going to come out on top in those scenarios, and Ace 1 are loving this.
Oh man, you could not write a better storyline for the Ace 1 squad. Ninjas to the end. They are knocking KGP off that pedestal. The 2-0 match point opportunity. Just remember, if you rewind 15 minutes, you'll see KGP about to win this whole thing when Ace 1 just emerged from the shadows. Omaiwa Moshinderu sliced them apart and now have sent this to a set number 5.
Okay, so hot potato. We have seen some Rico being played already today. He'll be a great mid here. We've seen a lot of BB as well, so those side lanes, and a lot of Spike as well, so plenty of options. And we are going to see as well Barley added to those mixes. Duncan going with the Rico, Kadu going with the Brock. Pretty good matchup from both sides here. Curveball in play is worthy to note as well from Weekle. No fertilizer or healing for him.
Advantage for KGP. Those long-range shots from Brock and Spike are really going to start to stack up. A quarter of the hit points already peeled off of Ace's safe, and no hits yet for them on KGP side of things. We are not seeing the base race that we have in the past with some of these siege matches. It is long-range damage all the way, and control of the mid is the name of the game here, Ark.
Yeah, Kadu has the option, though. He can break that mid. That will render Duncan less useful. He'll have to push to the side lane to stay relevant there. But Duncan with a great takedown. Didn't quite get Kadu, but got good value nonetheless. Now, Emmerich going to get some swipes. Nope. Coming back, playing cool, waiting for Filipino to get that super over the top.
Yeah, Kada is playing very heads up right now, not firing away as long as he knows he can rejuvenate a few more hit points, and then unleashing fury with this Brock, just tearing into the enemy safe now. That incendiary damage will stack even more on top of the already heavy hits from that rocket launcher.
Possible with some more value as well, going in for KGP, taken down now by Duncan. And now Filipino trying to get some shots over the wall. But again, Kadu just breaking the map to his will. And that is a dangerous thing because there's not really anything that Ace will have got in their disposal to be able to do the same. So in that respect, KGP an advantage here. And again, more shots from Kadu, more incendiary star power, passing over the top. This is great from KGP.
Oh yeah, they're playing super aggressively now. They're not even looking to gain control of the mid. Instead, they're just trying to end this thing in the next 45 seconds. 25% hit points on that safe at the bottom is not a comfortable spot at all for Ace. And with a last rocket rain, Kada brings it down to the teens. Parzival fires off his super as well, and that might be enough. The damage is ticking through. It's down to 680. Last shot from Spike finishes it off, and KGP grab one more win.
Now what happens? A KGP, they're on match point again, but we've seen this already from them. They've got to hold firm now. If Ace 1 can start to regroup themselves, maybe make a few brawler changes, are we going to go to the very final game here? They've got to finish this now. KGP have got to finish it this time round, or it could go the other way. They're in a great spot, but don't hold your horses just yet.
Yeah, excellent job to Guigle as you're seeing on that replay. That last little curveball damage, this tiniest little last spike emerging from that ball and finishing off the safe gave KGP that match point opportunity. But just like you said, Ark, they've been here before. They can't take any advantage for granted. Ace are going to be moving in with all the might and fury of so many weeks of preparation. $9,000 for first place. We got to say it again and again because there's an opportunity to unseat INTZ. If the APAC region is any indication of what's going to go on, teams that have already qualified have not practiced as hard. They're not as dominant as they've been in the past. And this match right here and now might determine who gets first place in the region.
Nice gadget pop from Filipino there, forcing back Guico is running sticky syrup again, so no healing tonic for his teammates, but it doesn't seem that they need it. Well, Duncan did need it. He went down the left side. Emmerich holding the mid here and just trying to deter this push from KGP. Staying alive still, gets quite a few shots there, actually, I've got to say, on behalf of Ace 1.
The LATAM meta is playing the game the way it was meant to be played. Really heavy control of the center by Ace early on, but KGP doing their best to get that damage in there. Ahead just by a little bit, 74 to 69% on Ace's safe right now, and that's going to put Ace in a tricky spot moving forward. They've only got a minute and a half left, but that's plenty of time to get the job done. Great shots by Filipino, hiding in that bush and knocking down Parzival. This is going to be a big opportunity to dump the damage in.
Doing Griggle staying alive though on that right-hand side. They could be putting damage down onto the KGP safe. And now Kadu trying his best. He goes down as well. Ace 1 pushing back at 61 to 61. And Emmerich staying alive on 28 HP.
based Emmerich. Boom! One more shot from Carl's gonna tear that safe down to the 30s, and that's a big pickup for Ace. They're leading right now with less than a minute left, but nice shots from Kada are gonna equalize here and bring them back ahead once again. It is swinging momentum on both sides. All three brawlers from Ace are making it to the enemy safe. Can they get the lead again or finish it off right now, Ark?
They've got to finish it here right now, or is this going to be a big push coming possible? What's got super? This one, it's gone! It's done! KJP with a sneaky Brock attack have done it right when it looked like Ace 1 might have turned things around.
KGP picking up the first 2 sets, then showing some weakness in the knees, falling apart and getting beaten down, but they were not out. Got back up again and with expert skill took the 5th and final set on a 2-0 scoreline. It was looking like Ace were creeping back up on them, but KGP were keeping their wits about them, and with this last game in the bag, have taken the win.
What an explosive start to the day, and I know that we are not finished there. We've got so many more exciting games to come. Falcone, what did you make of that?
That is how I like to start my Brawl Stars broadcast. What an amazing match, and I'm gonna give a little shout out to the MVP of that match. It's gonna be Parzival. There are so many names that I could have picked out, honestly, throughout the course of that match. But it's going to be Parzival on this occasion, who dominated right at the beginning of the match in Bounty with some amazing pulls, yanking opponents right the way into Jackie's path to be deleted. We did see a couple of rough sets, like the casters just said, as we saw Parzival switch to Tick in Brawl Ball, where there was an amazing goal causing a big comeback, but ultimately it wasn't meant to be after that until we got to Siege, where, wow, Siege wasn't great, but Heist was just phenomenal. He's dealt so much damage as Barley, both to the safe and also to the other players, creating all of these choke points throughout the game. And honestly, at the end of a very long series, it was a nice win by KGP and, of course, by Parzival. And here's the bracket now. This is what we're looking at. KGP taking a very close win up against Ace 1, but I don't think that this group is settled in any way whatsoever. So we're going to move on into the next match. It's KGP up against INTZ. And this is going to be interesting. INTZ, obviously, they are the kings of the region when it comes to this group of teams, them that have qualified and that kind of thing. But we've just seen some really good gameplay from KGP, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we see next. KGP, formerly Red Kalunga, that is Guigul, Kada, and Parzival. Guigul actually threw some shade at Spike when we asked him who his favorite brawler is, because he said that Spike used to be my favorite, but he doesn't hit his target anymore, so he stopped playing him. Oof. You can't say that about Spike. That's just cruel. Meanwhile, INTZ, we got Matthias, Consti, Guido, and Marcel. INTZ had very mixed opinions when it came to their strongest game mode. Consti said that he doesn't know. Matthias and Guido both said Gemgrad, and Marcel claimed it was Brawl Ball. Matthias did, however, say that his teammates are good decision makers who know how to play well with all of the brawlers. He went on to say that over time they've evolved their teamwork, communication, and that when a coach joined their team, they got even better at playing better compositions. So we are going to see that in action in the next match.
Welcome back, and look at this, Woody. We just had an amazing 5-match series between KGP and Ace 1, and now we're looking towards the kings of the region, INTZ. So if you needed a good warm-up going into your most difficult match of the month, this was surely it for the former Red Cannons lineup.
Oh, that is absolutely right. We've got 2 Brazilian behemoths now that are about to square off. Mr. P and Sprout are going to be banned this time around. We saw quite a bit of Sprout in the last match, so maybe INTZ have got the upper hand with this pick, but it's still anyone's game. Whoever wins this match, I think, is going to be the winner of the region, Tridd. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot to make that assessment. Personally, I think INTZ will walk away with the win here today. But it does mean that they have to get through KGP first, and I think INTZ should have an easier time of dealing with Ace 1. There's your maps for this series in particular. We're going to kick off with Heist on Kaboom Canyon. And Woody, I'm just going to say, I was a little bit disappointed with the first kind of showing we had of Colette not having the impact we wanted to see. I don't think we'll be seeing it again this series. It's a bit of an out there pick, and definitely, if we didn't see that, we could have seen a much more dominant scoreline from KGP, I feel.
Yeah, she's a brand new brawler, and so she doesn't really have yet a settled place in the metagame. There's an opportunity to completely surprise opponents and come out with a brand new brawler comp that can really change the way the game is played, but anything short of that, and she just kind of falls on her face a bit. I think she can work really well against enemy big brawlers like tanks. If we see a meta in a heist game mode, particularly where they're dashing in there trying to maximize damage early on with a base race, I think that she can get great value there, but barring that, we're going to have to wait and see where the pros find use for her.
Well, speaking of value, INTZ have already found 9% of it on the KGP safe after a few good trades. Now, Consti's got a Supra in his pocket, needs to get past Guigul on the side if he wants to get anywhere near that, but he's been forced away. The damage from the spike causing a lot of problems, and Marcel deletes Parsifal, and this just opens Guidu up again on the right-hand side.
Erased from existence and sent to the Shadow Realm. The double kill from INTZ is going to be even more damage stacked on, but nice job to Guigul there, ripping through the enemy bushes and finding another few kills. He's now got an uncontested spot on the enemy safe, tearing it apart. Well, I'm seeing double vision right now where we're looking at the same side of the map twice, but nonetheless, that's where all the action is playing out. You can see the KGP safe down to the teens, but INTZ have fallen first. Great job to KGP. Huge damage from Guigul, and I regret we didn't get a chance to watch him in there, but you know that Carl was massively useful, right stacked on the enemy safe.
Oh yeah, the proximity of the safe to the back wall of the map, Woody, means that you've got that faster uptime of damage from a Carl, so there's no wonder he's able to deal damage so far. I'm just surprised that they didn't get rid of Guidu on the blue side safe as fast as we saw it. Guidu was there for the longest time, uncontested, but they just weren't having fast damage rotations because the incendiary from Brock was keeping the Carl on the left-hand side zoned behind the wall, so he couldn't throw the pickaxe out without walking over fire, walking into damage, and he didn't have time to recover HP, so they just lost out on a base race.
Yeah, a lot of times when you're behind that wall on the enemy side of the base, you can get some really easy shots with your opponents trying to juke back and forth to catch up to you. If they don't have a thrower, there's kind of no way to shut them out, but incendiary star power from Brock was one of the only ways that you could kind of be in two places at once, dealing damage on the bottom while threatening from the top. So great job there to KGP, picking up the first win against the regional champs right now, INTZ.
I'm looking for more to say. Marcel feeling that incendiary as well, zoned away. And now Spike's going to finish it off. Oh, the rotation on those Spikes didn't finish it off, but Consti will. As they'll take out Guigul. That's Consti onto the safe on the left-hand side. Already feeling the hurt of that incendiary as he's boxed into a corner. Guigul's looking for the pinch. And no more Consti as they look towards the INTZ safe.
The old pinch and squeeze by Parzival and Guigul tearing apart that enemy Carl, and that is so super important. Carl can deal a massive amount of damage when he's stacked right on top of that safe, as we saw in that last game. And INTZ, trying to make the most of that opportunity, are going to be sent back home. They're down right now in safe damage, and KGP, hot off their win against Ace 1, have really sent the firepower straight toward INTZ, a leading win in game number 1, and ahead now in the second game.
Only by 10%, and we've still got 1 minute 30 left. Marcel only getting, I think, 2 shots off of his auto attack there. Has the super online, hiding in the brush, wants to move in and use most of this on the safe. Only find territory and Kader as well from afar as Greedy will pick up that kill. To help with Marcel, and now it's open season for Marcel on this safe. This is where the damage comes, Woody.
Guido and Marcel both playing really speedy, fast-paced, long-range brawlers, able to dish out maximum damage when they can get those shots at perfect aim, and Kadu is feeling the pain right now. INTZ have really pulled this one back, and KGP are reeling now in the last minute. They'll need to do a lot of damage to keep pace against an INTZ squad that have finally found their footing.
It's okay, look at the damage percentile from KGP. If they get a good fight, clear out INTZ and get onto the safe, I think they can burn down the safe fast enough, but they're being locked into their own spawn. They're not going to have any chance unless they break out of this fast.
Well, put on your coat and jacket because INTZ have started a whirlwind of fantastic showmanship right now. 81% damage on their safe, and all they really have to do is play defense this one last time. A poke and a prod from KGP is not going to be enough, and even with a lot of damage, Guigel's going to have to charge in, but that's what he's done! He's pulled ahead, but KGP taking damage on their own side. It's going to be enough, though. They're ahead by a little bit. Guidu does the unthinkable, pulling off the comeback and knocks the enemy safe down. KGP eliminated means a set tie for INTZ.
That moment came down to Kader dying with his super. He had it online on the spike. Laying on top of the safe with a few more of his normal attacks against it. May have been able to squeeze out the victory there for KGP, but not being given the opportunity to layer that persistent damage over time to assist Guigel in his last stand, if you will, just meant that when it came around to the defense, came around to the offense, they were just ended too soon without not getting enough damage out of there. And then when the counterattack came out, it was already too late.
Well, we are tied up 1-1, just like KGP saw in their first match against Ace 1. They are a team that goes the distance and will not give up, even when there's a really tough competitor or a close scoreline on the board. They have got a lot of persistence, and surely the adrenaline must be pumping in their veins. Off of a really tough match against Ace, they are now facing off against the final boss. INTZ are taking this match back. But the first set has only got one more game left in it. We don't ever see draws and heists, so who will win? It's all going to be found out in the next couple minutes.
No comp changes for both of these teams into the mirror matchup. Guigel going down early. Marcel draws first. Blood? Steel? Oil? What do you want to call it on the safe? He's able to find damage first. That's what's all important. It's constantly still on the left-hand side, has the super online, waiting for Kader to move away. Just getting a free damage from afar. It's not the most efficient use of the Carl, but it's still damage over time. But they've not fixed the problem of Marcel in the middle.
Marcel in the middle, the MVP with the long-range shots, taking down enemy brawlers and getting damage in on safe. Marcel has got some super fancy footwork, and he charges in for one more last stab. KGP now below the teens in percentage, as INTZ have really ripped and torn through the competition. This is going to be an easy walk away. They just need one more hit on safe.
Yeah, this is done, Woody. There is no way KGP are able to catch up to this damage, because even if you rush as 3 members onto the INTZ safe, you just need 1 member of INTZ to get on there. It's 5% now. That is not a lot of damage to get through. That's 1 full rotation of normal attacks for any of these brawlers.
Look, if KGP wins right now, it would be an even bigger upset than when Ace picked up a victory in Brawl Ball with 1 second left and down in the scoreline.
Marcel's breaking down the wall, breaking down Guigel. Guidu's making a run for the safe, but it's Consti who's in range. And there we go, Woody. Oh no! They've stepped alive. The body block is there, but the final shot from Marcel comes through the door. They get the victory by destroying the safe, and INTZ will take that set number 1.
Yeah, P-Shooter could have blown that safe apart. That's such a little hit point at the very end there. Great job to INTZ. They have really come back swinging. Lost the first game, but they were not ready to give up the crown in the LATAM South region, and they have already gotten 1 set under their belts. 2 more to claim victory in this match. Look at the stat line here, as damage dealt by INTZ was actually a bit lower against enemy brawlers, but they more than made up for that deficit with their safe damage. Over 100,000 relative to KGP, struggling to reach that point line.
Yeah, good 40,000 damage it looks like in favor of INTZ, which makes sense considering they're able to block the safe twice in a row. And of course, outpace KGP in general. A few things to take away from that one, I think, is, yeah, like I said, Kader going down on the spike, not ideal timing when they went on that counter attack. And then also a lot of sticking power with the Carl being around on the safe as well, playing around it. Yes, we did talk about Incendiary shutting them down, but still just perpetual damage you can survive and heal up. Now, map number 2, we head over to Siege. The comps are changing up. We've got Guigel in the middle with the Sandy.
Yeah, some long-range brawling action from KGP this time around. A thrower to back up. Guigel and Parzival both playing in that kind of support role. They're not going to dish out as much heavy damage as INTZ are, but they might have the staying power. If they can get midfield control, they should be in a good spot, and it looks like that's where we're at. INTZ have charged in and have taken out a few of their opponents, but they're about to get a big bot moving right in toward their Ike. Forced to play defense now. They won't be able to reclaim mid without getting a few more kills.
And not a huge advantage for INTZ in terms of that bulk score. They only had 2 left in there. And they're struggling to get control of the mid because the healing station is now set up from Parzival, so he's going to keep Guido at bay on the side. Guigo falls victim to the traps as Marcel will pick up that kill, look to set up some more. Parzival now under pressure from Guido, zoning them away from their own healing tower. Going to make it a lot harder for them to play this one, and they just reclaim all the bolts in the middle, get a slight lead.
Ooh, Griegel falls for the trap as Marcel has laid it perfectly. Those mines set up right on the healing station have done it, and INTZ grab the midfield and the second siege bot. They are moving in for the comeback, and they will not be denied this big hit coming in fast, Tridd.
Oh, and this bot is healthy enough for them to get some additional damage in. You saw the mines were layered on top. Guido from the side as well, just peppering the Ike, dropping it down by 32% HP. And the bolts are relatively equal. INTZ is in a great position here to look at getting the last siege as well.
Yeah, they've evened it up, and the Boltonomics going in INTZ's favor, especially with midfield control. Guido zipping around, but clever shots are going to finish him off. Nice job there to get that midfield control back again. He's going to set up the last super, and I think they've done it. KGP are going to get the last siege bot, having wiped out the enemy team. They're going to get one more charge. They need to deal more than 32% damage here.
But they got level 10 siege bot to do it as well, Woody. That's got a lot of HP that needs to be burned through, and not a lot of time, especially if Marcel goes down early. This bot is going to get the connection, and now we need to watch the damage fly in from KGP.
Oh, there's no way INTZ can stop a bot that big. They're going to do their best, but it has already done enough. INTZ's Ike knocked below half hit points, and KGP have found that walloping finish that they so desperately sought. Good job to them. Victory in game number 1.
Take the first game of it. Didn't look too good for them until it came down to the last siege, and the skirmishes in the middle after the second siege were what won KGP that round. The level 10 siege bot, like we talked about, it's so healthy, and it was only 32% to deal with. That was always going to go the way of KGP, but losing Bo before the Bro bot had even entered into Ike range just sealed the deal. They weren't going to be able to burn through it fast enough.
It was like INTZ were the stronger team, but we're having to call emergency response time and again, putting out little fires everywhere. There was so much, area control from the KGP side, just dropping those barley shots, setting up healing turrets. It seemed like they were just racing from side to side, trying to get one firm footing in the midfield. They finally got it with the second bot, but that third was just too big to handle.
Too many holes, not enough fingers, Woody. They were unable to plug it all, and eventually the bucket just ran dry. And now we move on to the second game. And no compositional changes from KGP. They're going to roll out with the Max, still keeping the Sandy and the Pam. Marcel still in the middle with the Bow, constantly on the right-hand side with the Carl. Parzival's low and will back off. But mid-control, just giving up to INTZ consistently. They don't even try and contest it. That's probably why, because Marcel picks up that first kill. Looking to bank the next bolt, getting the reinforcement from Guido. Oh, banks one, but not the second. So level 3 siege bot comes in favor of KGP.
Marcel has got marvelous power in this match so far. INTZ have really got to be clapping him on the back. Even when they take a big hit and lose the first bot, there's no damage at all on their Ike. That bow is coming in super handy, almost as powerful as the Cole was in game 1. And look at that deletion.
Oh, God. I felt that one from here, Woody. Just it's 100-0. And INTZ able to storm away a huge bolt lead and control of the territory. Sandy takes cover for now. Guigo will move forward into the center. They got to climb up by 7 bolts in just as many seconds. It's not going to happen. INTZ going to get at least a level 10 siege bot here. Might be able to squeeze out the 11th, but not in time. Now it's full defense for KGP.
Cheese and rice. The momentum swing for INTZ is massive, and that tripwire from Bo using perfectly that gadget to get maximum damage, stun, and deny access to the bolts for KGP. That is a huge strike and only a 2-bolt advantage for KGP. With INTZ holding court in the mid, expect them to go the distance here. I think they've got this game in the bag, Tridd.
Yeah, they definitely look towards that last siege. Guido.
Oh, Marcel's down.
Oh, Parzival, we're going to go down as well, though. They managed to catch them out with the mines. So the lead's still in favor of INTZ. Guido actually backed off from that second siege a little bit earlier than expected. He could have got one more damage rotation in, but I think they wanted to prioritize getting mid-control for the final siege, and that mid-control is paying them dividends, Woody, as they get another level 10 siege bot, and there is no chance of KGP winning this round.
They're just staring each other down in the middle. INTZ knows they're so far ahead on bolts, they don't even need those brawler kills right now. All the damage in INTZ's favor, and not a single point peeled off their own Ike. They are going to take this game, and that is another opportunity for them to reverse sweep a set. They lost the first game in the first set as well, but they are not giving up. And once they have found out the weakness in their opponent's strat, they will exploit it to maximum advantage.
Just like the patches you get regularly in Brawl Stars, it just takes a quick download from INTZ. They lose the first match, get the patch update, and then they excel in performance in the next 2 rounds to come back and win the set. History could repeat itself in set number 3 as we look towards the match point in favor of INTZ.
INTZ inching forward for victory. They only need a few more feet and they'll have it. These computer brain, mega mind, cosmic anomalies have done it again, and with the game number 2 in the bag, they just need another one to pick up for this set to be over with. I think that the overwhelming victory that they just found really speaks well of them in this upcoming 3rd game, the tiebreaker starting now, and I'm eager to see if there's any brawler swaps from KGP. Looks like they are going to go pretty heavy once again, but swapping out just in favor of Max this time around.
Okay, so they're going to bring in the Colette as well as the Spike. So INTZ mixing it up for game number 3 of this set. Guigo feeling the hurt. No real high HP targets. You're not getting max value out of this pick, but Marcel goes in, burns the super at point blank range to get the execute on Guigo. Still won't get that first siege spot though.
Yeah, I am surprised to see Marcel give away a big lead with Bo in favor of Colette now. She does do pretty reliable damage to big enemy bots, 1,000 every hit, and with that dash early on, was able to grab the bolts. But INTZ, even with 4, are going to be taking a pummeling early on. 18% pulled off their Ike is an appreciable little lead for such a small bot. They will have midfield control, but KGP are contesting for it, and wow, those dashes from Marcel are so effective.
Well, we're able to knock KGP into the corner, but couldn't confirm the kill. And now with the Sandy Super in the middle, needs to back off with that HP pool because Guido could be round the corner. Guido able to find a kill on the right-hand side. Despite all the kills going the way of KGP, they've not actually gained a bolt lead yet. They're still playing catch-up, and they didn't manage to do it in time. INTZ now get a level 6.
Yeah, surrounding and pounding down on KGP. That level 6 bot is going to be backed up with 4 more bolts still in the bank. INTZ really picking up favor in the later stage of that first round, and they will pull ahead in the overall damage. But as it always comes down to it, it's the last bot that will determine this set, Tridd. They are so close in damage and in bolts. It's all about midfield control here, and INTZ have done it. 2 brawlers standing and a Pam just really tiptoeing through. KGP have not charged in fast enough, and they are going to be in an awful spot if they can't get more bolts on their side in the last 10 seconds.
I may have got ahead of myself after the second round, Woody, and confused sets with matches and rounds and that particular issue, but it looks like it was quite prophetic because INTZ, they get that final siege bot. There's no answer for KGP. Doesn't matter what they do, they can't match the damage, and INTZ will take set number 2.
Marcel playing fantastic defense in that fancy footwork, grabs a few more bolts for his team as well. That is an overwhelming victory for INTZ. The leaderboard champions of this region will not be denied, and once again have picked up a 2-0 set scoreline off of a really fearsome opponent. KGP, having won the first match, are now struggling to even get a single set point on the board.
If it wasn't for the fact that our first match of the day was so close, I'm pretty sure Ace 1 would be sweating right now because they just lost to this team and they have to go up against INTZ after this series. Thankfully, they did force out a 5-set match against KGP, so that's a bit of a confidence booster, but you got to be looking at this match and wondering what comes next after this series, because the way INTZ are playing, they're going to win the 3rd set, and they are probably going to give you a difficult time in the match of your own.
Oh yeah, the way that INTZ just manhandled KGP that last game, you have got to think that Ace 1 is basically an afterthought for them at this point. Double the damage dealt, and that stat line right there tells the entire story. More than twice as many kills in INTZ's favor. They were playing on fire, especially Marcel. I got to call him out once again. MVP of this INTZ squad, if I have ever seen one. Able to play multiple different brawlers and swap out of position whenever his team needs him most. Expect to see that versatility come to bear once again in Brawl Ball, where Super Stadium is the map of choice for our third round.
Okie dokie then, we're jumping into that map right away, Woody, and Parsifal's going to be on the bow. We've got the introduction of a Barley and Spike as well, but the Jackie and B coming out for INTZ is a big shakeup.
It's as if Marcel has just painted a massive bullseye on his forehead. Both Kada and Parsifal and
oh my god,
all three blue brawlers targeting down Marcel. Poor guy can't catch a break.
Oh, the Marcel global taunt is in effect right now, just being focused.
They're still doing it. They're just ignoring constant. They're like, kill Marcel at all costs.
Oh my god, and they looked in the corner. Consti's there just to body block some of the shots and soak up some of that damage, but they're not letting Marcel regenerate, which makes it really hard for a B to get out and find not only the first shot, but the second empowered shot. Keeping them at low HP really reduces the effective range, and Marcel gets picked off again as the ball is pushed towards the INTZ goal line.
KGP are really coming in strong with this game number 1. I think they've got a big compositional advantage over INTZ. Consti not getting very much value at all until he can finally deal all the damage he needs. Gets one big hit, but Kada actually manages to survive that encounter, and INTZ are not going to get the big pushback that they were hoping for.
The saving grace is that INTZ have kept good control of the ball. They've not really got the territory, but they're not allowing KGP to walk over and start moving the ball around the map and getting it closer to the goal line. There's a nice stun up onto Guidu from the mines, but no follow-up for the kill. There's just Barley's trading on the right-hand side. No one's willing to touch the ball just yet. And the last call may seal death for Takeda. Is unable to move around, and Guidu will get that kill. Consti open it up, pass down to the back line. They got a chance of goal winning. They got to go for it. And Consti walks it over the line. Goal in favor of INTZ, despite being pushed so far into their own territory.
Kada starting the great bake-off here, tossing pies around, but Guidu has none of it, wins the mirror match, and delivers the first opportunity for INTZ to get a point on the board. This Brawl Ball game is really swinging back in INTZ's favor. If you forget about Marcel for even a second, you are going to take maximum damage at long range. Another pop shot off on Kadu, and he's charged up his next hit. Where's he going to fire it, Tridd?
He's looking towards Parsifal, won't find a connection. Marcel, 108 HP. There is 10 seconds left, Woody, and that ball has not left the center of the field. KGP have to go for this, but there's too many bodies on the field. They can't get the kill. Consti survives, and Parsifal attempts with the super pass, but there just wasn't enough time, and INTZ move to match points.
Weagle and Parsifal both firing off supers in the last seconds of that game. A really admirable opportunity to get a bank shot off the wall, but just couldn't get it done there for Parsifal. INTZ now leading with a match point opportunity. Just need one more goal, and they could be the winners of this match.
And I still can't get over the focus they put onto Marcel at the beginning. They did not want the B to get online, and when you saw Marcel have the freedom to start dishing out damage, there was a lot to fear on the side of KGP. They were unable to really walk forward at all, and as soon as that first goal came in, with the finite time, I think there was 45 seconds left on the clock when that ball finally went over the line, there's not enough time to set everything up without these clean team wipes, and you couldn't burn through the Consti fast enough on the Jackie to be able to get that clean wipe you needed to make the goal in time.
It is a really tricky play for Consti, though, because there's such an open line from the kickoff point straight to the goal. You got to be really careful about when you charge in there as Jackie, because you want to be careful enough that you don't die so soon that a super shot can get the goal, but you can't waste any time, because if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile and could easily get the equalizer, just as we saw in the previous match against Ace.
Sandy's on the left-hand side, going to trade out the kills. Kada bringing some HP pools of their own with the Chell Primo to be able to just walk up, but a little bit less tanky on the side of INTZ. They've brought the Gene to the mix as well. That's looking for some good punishments. He's in a perfect position to start destroying enemy territory. He just doesn't have his super online to do it just yet.
That's right. KGP have already knocked down those obstacles in between the kickoff point and the goal line on INTZ's side of the map and playing defense now. They're going to try to hold on, but a big hit for INTZ is going to be a massive opportunity. Kate is punching at air,
beautiful.
hitting absolutely nothing, and Consti capitalizes the goal. Lazo puts INTZ ahead.
Beautiful. That's what the moment Marcel was looking for. Holding on to the magic hand for when there's a perfect lineup in front of territory, a vulnerable target, and now it's looking for more to say. Great pull on the pass.
Yes!
It's for the lane!
Goal! INTZ shut out KGP with a 2-0 goal line. They take the game, set, and match.
No hot fixes needed in that final series, Woody. The patch was good to go from the off. Not conceding that first game this time around in a 2-0 shutout. They win the third set and take the match 3-0. Your kings of the region continue to reign supreme, and now they look towards Ace 1 in our final match of LATAM South.
Wearing the crown and staring down at all challengers, KGP have been knocked about, and INTZ have got an easy path to victory with just another match win against the opponents who have already fallen to the team that they've beaten. INTZ, the kings of the region, have already got their eyes set on the World Finals next month.
All right, well, let's throw it over to Dan, and he's going to wrap up the match.
You know, there is a reason that INTZ have already qualified for global finals, and that's it, that right there. Your MVP for this game, as Woody quite rightly said, is going to be Marcel, who played so many different brawlers in that match. It's actually unreal. You get a little sample of it on screen there, but honestly, we saw Marcel as Colt, we saw Marcel as Bo, we saw Marcel as Colette, we saw B, we saw Jean, we saw so many different brawlers. Each of them played to perfection. It got to the point, as the casters were saying in Brawl Ball, where Marcel was being targeted. All of the other brawlers were aiming at Marcel, but still, it wasn't good enough for KGP to take a win against INTZ. This was a dominating performance through and through. And quite honestly, in that final game of Brawl Ball, it didn't even really matter what Marcel was doing at that point because the game was won so quickly, it felt as though KGP had given up. Honestly, fantastic performance for INTZ. Let's take a look at the bracket and see how things stand. And if you're Ace 1, you're not feeling great right now. After a really close match against KGP where they lost, they've now seen KGP get annihilated by INTZ, and they're going to have to try and avoid more of the same happening to them. It's going to be a tough match, but let's see if Ace 1 have what it takes. Here we go! Ace 1 versus INTZ. Emmerich, Filipino, Duncan versus Matthias, Consti, Guido, and Marcel. Oh, it's going to be a good one. Let's take a look at our first team. It's Ace 1. Now, Filipino has a specific role when it comes to gem grab. He's the holder. He also likes to play aggro, so watch out for that one. Emmerich says that his strategy is to always be an advantage by using a better composition. He also said that if he wins a lot of prize money, he'll spend it on investments to get rich over time. Very sensible, I guess. Let's take a look at INTZ. Guido said that his favorite brawler used to be El Primo, but more recently switched to Max due to appreciation of her style of play. Oh, Guido really likes the fast brawlers there, I guess. Consti's favorite brawler was Carl, then BB, then Mortis, then Ems, and then he said etc. So it seems like Consti has liked pretty much every brawler at some point or another. Ultimately, though, his heart will always belong to Poco, apparently, as does ours all. Let's take a look at the final match of the group right now.
Thank you very much, Falcone. Well, INTZ are on a bit of a streak right now, and as we saw previously, Ace 1 struggled against KGP, so Well, actually, I take that back. It was very, very close. So I'm keen to see how this will go. Ace1 are banning Max, INTZ banning Sprout. What do you think of that, Tridd?
Max, we've seen a lot of play from Guido, being able to run around the map, control it, and not only that, Max is incredibly strong right now. Ark, I don't need to tell you, I'm preaching to the choir at this point. So it makes sense that you ban Max away. Sprout, especially on maps like Backyard Bowl, where you can cut down loads of these paths of movement, very powerful. Let's take a powerful brawler off the field as well. So moving around, Colette from the out, and we've seen a 50-50 coin flip performance so far. One time really bad, one time pretty okay. Let's see if we can find something amazing from Ace1.
Yeah, I've got to say, I was so impressed with Marcel in his last games playing Colette, and already the opening though for Ace1, not even going to use Super by Emmerich there to get that early goal. A great start for Ace1 in the very opening first seconds.
Yeah, my face just scowled up like I'm sucking on a lemon, Ark. I'm really confused how that actually happened. But now we'll move forward anyway. Filipino going to be getting himself caught out. Duncan moving forward, the ball left in the middle. Ace1 have the advantage. Matthias going to move it over to the back left-hand corner as Emmerich off to the right-hand side, trying to find a way to find an option to use the super and get in to get that ball maybe and get back out. He's been taken out by Marcel.
The Mr. Beast spawners are down as well. That's going to put a lot of pressure on to Ace1 as the ball cleared there by Filipino. Great to see, by the way, as well, 8-Bit coming back.
I've just clocked that myself, Ark.
Yeah.
Like, we actually got Guido going from being one of the most mobile brawlers in the game to one of the most immobile brawlers in the game, now playing 8-Bit. And Emmerich can't catch a break on this left-hand side.
Yeah, the new reworked star power plugged in now is really viable. It gives 8-Bit that additional speed whilst in that radius of that turret. So they see Greedy being able to whiz around and avoid shots. It's a great thing to have, and great to see as Greedy making an advance on the goal here. Surely with that additional speed to his advantage. No! Straight into the hands of Filipino. A bit of a miss there for INTZ.
I was going to be very upset if we saw an 8-Bit score a goal using speed. Not something I'm used to and not something I thought I'd see. They're looking to set it up again, try and help Marcel around the middle. Great dash in from Emmerich, cut short by Guido's damage. Sitting on top of his own super, having that elevated.
Yeah, shut down super quickly, and that's the thing with Colette's speed, that when those takedowns happen, it just looks so devastating to watch. But now Ace1, as they know they've got that goal in their pocket, they can push up and leave the ball behind them. The stun there from the mines from Duncan and Marcel, with a sad face, and Duncan coming there to just give him a hug. Duncan, give him a hug, man.
Matthias is making a run for it, though. If only he had like 2 more seconds, he might have been able to actually equalize and force out the overtime. But like you said, Ark ran out of time. Ace knew the position they were in. They were just playing around with them at the end. Playing with their food, if you will.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious now whether Marcel might consider Colette going back on to the next game, because Pam's a tanky brawler. You know, you can get maximum value when you're placing Colette in a matchup against a brawler that is on the tankier side. So we've already seen that he likes to play her. So I'm kind of curious now as to whether we will see maybe any brawler switch-ups, and whether that, if there is one, might be the one.
What happens, this is a question for you, Ark, you might know about this interaction. What happens if 2 Colettes collide with the star power that displaces enemies in their path?
Then the game will break and explode, and we'll be we'll be left in blackout, Tridd.
I was going to say, we might find out if we see Marcel run out with the Colette to match out Emmerich. I doubt it's going to happen. Colette seems like a super niche pick at the moment. They're just coming out in these really weird instances, falling into Mortis territory where you just play it once and then you ignore it for the rest of the series.
It's a bit of a, you know, you got to be cautious around when to pick Colette. You've got to be really, really certain that you're sure of the comp that you're going to face, because it is a bit of a challenge then if you're up against a lot of squidgy brawlers. Colette will not have much value as her damage is based solely on the percentages of the brawlers that you're facing in terms of their HP. So the higher then, the better. We're not going to see any changes. INTZ seem to feel like they just took a bit of a beat, a bit of an early goal, and well, we might even see it again. Then Duncan low enough, though, to not be too much of a threat here, and they will recollect themselves and look to defend this moment here.
They did make one change. They put Emmerich onto the Penny. So Ace is the ones that are going to adapt, get rid of the Colette. Guido happy to run out on the 8-Bit once more. Dancing around in between those 2 ranges of speed boost and damage boost. Balls left slightly in the court of Ace1 as they're trying to find a pinch onto Duncan. You don't want to stand behind cover because that's exactly what's going to happen as Matthias throws the briefcase over the top, and now they've got the tight ang on the rest of Ace. Oh no, Matthias! Actually, no! Oh, he actually turbo into the goal. Oh, pain!
It's still lingering within my soul. That was a terrible moment to not capitalize on, and INTZ now are going to have to shake that one off and continue this aggression, and my word, they can't do that twice.
Yeah, I think Matthias would have gone for that, but the rest of his team pulled him back and said, no, you don't get to have the shot on goal anymore. Not after that. You got to let me, or Marcel handle this one, bud.
But it's a pretty good pinch right here. INTZ holding firm. They're not getting pushed back here. Matthias is going to get the pass up to Guido. Guido got the shot. It's in. INTZ have made good on that blunder.
All old reliable from INTZ. Basically anyone on the team apart from Matthias is who they'll trust to score that goal. Great disengage there, actually. They shut down Duncan in the middle of his pirouette. As Filipino will move forward, get himself caught out, and Emmerich's able to answer back with a singular kill. But that's not what you need if you're Ace. You need dominance right now. You've got 30 seconds left to equalize the scoreline, or we're going to game number 3.
Yeah, exactly. That pressure is on now for Ace1, and credit to INTZ. You know, it's a lot of pressure on these players to perform, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way, and now even less so. Ace1 needs to push up to here. Duncan staying alone, goes down though, as does the majority. It's Marcel alone. He can super the ball away if he wants. INTZ holding firm then in Brawl Ball.
Yeah, they just need to hold on to the ball. That's jobs are good for INTZ. Game number 3 on the cards. It's the INTZ download. It was about 50% done through that match arc, and oh boy, when it comes through to game number 3, you can expect them to be fully updated on what they need to do.
Yeah, it's, you know, now we can sort of reset. INTZ definitely, though, showing a few cracks early on and not as confident as we saw them up against KGP now. So Ace1 have got to capitalize on that. They've really got to get inside the heads of INTZ, mess around with them a little bit. If they can come up with a win in this next game, then that would be a great way to do just that.
Let's see if they can pull that one out, Ark, as we're going to go to game number 3 shortly. And I wonder if there's going to be any changes from either of these two teams. We saw Colette get switched out for Penny, which was mirrored on both teams for that last engagement. Didn't really work out entirely for them because they're still not found an answer to deal with the damage pressure that comes in from 8-Bit just being on the field.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, it's not a bad map in general to bring out a G. Now, it doesn't seem like these teams are going for it. We are going to see actually a B, and that I do think is a solid choice. A B can get so much value on this map. Yes, her shots are slower than Piper's, but they do pack that sting, and Marcel will be absolutely looking to get that shot like he has just done there to amplify that. That damage to follow, if he connects, will be a lot. Now, he's not running the star power of Honeycoat, so he will have 2 attempts to make that amplified shot count.
Nice of Emmerich to jump onto the 8-Bit to try that for themselves. We'll get the super online. So this is the go button. Plays it very aggressively. Unlike INTZ, who are using the 8-Bit not to take space, but to use their own damage to do so. He just plants it right in their half and doesn't mess around with it at all.
Yeah, it's a really good spot. Look at this, just being able to protect the turret with those boxes and stay in an aggressive stance there. Guido not really able to push out as a result of that, despite using Curveball as his star power. He's looking to get a super to be able to shut down this lane, but pressure from Filipino now, and that puts him in a low spot. The turret going down is going to be bad news for both Guido and Marcel if it can reach that that range.
Great evidence here of City planning. Marcel will stop the ball momentarily to give Matthias time to get up. The damage is there. He's got control of the ball. Matthias! Redemption being provided to us in game number 3 as crucially stopping the possession for Ace1 and not allowing them to walk this one over the line.
Gonna hand to INTZ. Great defensive work there, but still not out of the woods. The penny turret getting so much value. Eric now with the plugged-in star power gets the speed, and Tridd, you said that you didn't want to see that happen. So how do you feel about that one, buddy?
Not very good. Not very good. I mean, that was a 6,000 HP 8-bit running at you. They didn't have time to burn him out. And like I said, with the speed boost coming in as well, they had no chance of answering that. And now they can play defensively. Still on top of this ball. There's 20 seconds remaining. Ace1 looking to do what KGP couldn't and take a set away from INTZ.
This will be huge for Ace1. Marcel's already spinning. He's saying GG, well played, guys. And Emmerich going in there for the smile, the hug. But it's not going to matter. Ace1 now in a great spot. The pressure mounting for INTZ.
Yeah, I love 8-bit with like 4 little legs as well. It just looks like they waddle over when they're running at you. It's oddly terrifying with the speed boost as well. But now INTZ, they have dropped down to a 0-1 scoreline. Ace1 take the lead in this match. We'll have to look towards set number 2 to see what they'll be playing on to close this one out. But it's surprising me dearly was Emmerich decided to match the 8-bit and roll out with it for game number 3 and play a lot more aggressively than what Guido was prepared to in the previous match.
Yeah, I imagine they were kind of thinking that they might go in with 8-bit again and have that lane then be decided based on those 2 brawlers facing off. And they actually swapped out then, and it kind of played very much into the hands of Ace1, like you rightly say, Tridd, being very, very aggressive in the play style. But Shooting Star up next. I'll be surprised to see 8-bit making a come into Bounty here. But it could be. I mean, who knows?
I think we both know that's probably not going to be the case for this map type, especially Bounty is quite vulnerable. 8-bit, one of the problems with them is mobility, despite getting that slight mobility buff with the super. So it'll be interesting to see what they roll out with on this one. We just know that for a fact there's going to be no Max and no Sprout because they were our 2 banned brawlers for this match.
Exactly that. And, you know, we see a lot of Bo combined with Nanny in Bounty. We might see some of that with that super totem gadget to pump up the super charge rate. For me as well, Piper is a staple diet. Brock, all that good stuff. Tick here is particularly powerful. We actually are going to see Filipina going in with that pick as well.
Nanny with no bow?
It's doable. I know. I mean, personally, I actually...
You've got mirrored compositions. The only variance here is the Piper Brock.
Yeah, and Duncan then getting a nice early aggressive stance on that right-hand side, locking down what Marcel's even able to achieve here, but now a bit low, so be careful with these shots coming in from Matthias, and now forced back as a result. And home... Oh, wow! Marcel capitalizing with the gadget pop homemade recipe coming into play there.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, Ace1. Now Marcel's going to take some valuable territory and destroy potential cover that Ace1 could use to reclaim territory around the map. Fires, he's got to head first online. Maybe if Marcel lands a shot, they'll follow up quickly. Backing away from a head first deployed from Ace. And look how far the Nannies went back. Peeps on the board. Duncan jumping over with the gadget makes it soak into the territory.
Yeah, Duncan ideally is going to want to break the mid because that will definitely deter what Matthias is able to achieve there. Obviously, that wall protecting him massively. Marcel holding down his line as well with this face-off between himself and Emmerich. But like you rightly say, Tridd, with no bow, then it is all down to Guido and Emmerich hitting these shots consistently to get the maximum value out of Pete.
It's really difficult to do so because they don't have as a direct of an attack as Duncan does. Guido, you can't be tanking Incendiary like that because Duncan just needs one more shot. Oh, he finds the kill at the end. He does box Guido temporarily. Still not got that online to use, but it's a 5-star advantage in favor of INTZ with only 10 seconds remaining.
It's going to require a lot from Ace1, but it is happening right now. The exchange of stars, there's only 1 kill left just to draw Matthias. No! The shutdown from Guido. Duncan doing his best with a shot on Marcel towards the end with the rocket rain. But INTZ held on there despite being in a very compromised spot.
I have several questions.
Continue.
Why is Guido up so aggressively with no cover when there's two people shooting at him in the face? In his final moments, he's got Filipino and Duncan in effective attack range, and he's still moving forward and not into some form of cover. So it's just easy pickings for Ace, potentially starting a snowball. But thankfully, the rest of INTZ were able to shut that one down and retain control and walk away with the first game.
It might have actually been a different story. There's a moment there that had Duncan stayed alive and been able to be in position in that top left corner to get the pinch off, that would have been disastrous for INTZ. I gotta say, I feel like they got a little bit fortunate towards the end of that game to have it not be a different outcome.
Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of lady luck in this one, I feel. Ark is still able to stay in the matchup. But now, looking towards game number 2. Duncan. Oh, already finding the first kill onto Guido, but don't worry, it's a complete mirror matchup on the way back. They're going to have Ace with a 4-star lead for now. Different story for INTZ, who now have to play a lot more defensively. They're being boxed into their own spawn.
But I like to say, you know, Duncan swapping to Piper, I think, is a smart play. Marcel was being very dominant in the last round. Duncan jumping away there is good as well. But wow, Guido timed that to perfection, getting the takedown from the way that shot just expanded into the range there. Nice plays from Guido.
Why is Duncan being in a position forced to use that defensively against his own cover? Surely you want to be able to have a definitive lead, walk over and create more sightlines for yourself. All you're doing is just losing that cover you once had. Thankfully, you take away the head start, but Guido just pushes forward. There's only 1 star in it. Ace do still have the lead.
Yeah, Duncan struggling the left-hand side might be worth considering just swapping lane and just getting a sneaky shot on Matthias to bring the action forwards. A dash there from Philippe goes down nonetheless. Nice peak plays there from Guido, doing super well this match for me.
But that's the target. That's exactly who Guido needs to be going for. Is the only one without a definitive escape from the peep. You've got Emmerich who can teleport with a peep of their own. Speaking of which, going over from Marcel, and you'll watch how the interaction goes. Nice pivot around, Guido being the target, still trying to find it. It just jukes it. You need to be landing those peeps, especially against a Tick and a Nanny with no super or no escape. Don't waste your time on Marcel. They can just super away.
Yeah, I would absolutely tend to agree there with no super totem as well. That you don't get many of those people. You've got to make them count. And INTZ making it look very, very solid this round. I feel like Duncan didn't really get a chance. They might have considered really, if you're Ace-1, swapping lanes there actually to get a more favorable matchup, even just the mirror match between Marcel. But nothing like that happened. There was no strategy around evolving to what INTZ wanted the outcome to be.
And there you have it, INTZ taking 2 games back-to-back on Bounty, which means they will tie up the match score altogether, moving into set number 3.
Great result for them, and yeah, starting to get their flow, and definitely looking very, very strong there. Different brawlers that we've seen them being played in the past, and look at the stats right there, 12 kills to 3. Very, very dominant from INTZ.
Yeah, just no real response coming in there from Ace on Bounty whatsoever. 3 kills across both rounds is very difficult to see yourself winning that one out. We're moving over to Siege, which will be our next map type. Junk Park will be the next stop for us.
Yeah, Junk Park's an interesting map. It's going to slow the pace down a little bit, but the most important thing is banking these bolts. And as you say, Max and Sprout are the ban, so Max is out the picture here. That will make a big difference. I think things like BB as a kind of counter towards that, and having a home run of that additional speed and various other brawlers. We are going to see that straight off the bat there from Duncan from Ace-1, but Tick is going to be a difficult one actually on the other side of things for Ace-1 to deal with. Marcel will be looking to get a lot of shots off, and there's already a ticket going out. Emmerich even popping a gadget to stay alive there. That's where you're going to see the pressure come back from INTZ.
Yeah, this is really good for INTZ, I feel. Being able to have the option of Matthias on the Jackie as well, that can just play sweeper and use the supported damage coming in from the squishier members. It's going to be what they're using to get this mid control. Didn't work out in the first rotation, but they did bag 3 bolts, provided they can shut down this offense.
First bot going in, a bit of damage there for Ace-1, but actually it was Duncan that went in on the aggressive, and I think that worked out super well because 50% on a level 3 push is even more than that. 42% left remaining. What a start if you're Ace 1.
That was only off of a level 2 siege bot as well, wasn't it, Ark? That shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be getting, you shouldn't be getting that much value out of a level 2. Bot lead still in favor of INTZ though, and the next siege is online in 3 seconds. I don't see any bots above the heads of Ace 1. So a level 5 will come out for INTZ. Somehow I don't think it's going to have the impact that first bot had.
Oh, Matthias staying alive is a good start for him, winning side against Duncan here. Filipino knows that Greedy going down will make a big difference here. He puts the pressure on, goes down himself, and there's enough time to distract a few tick shots here and there. It's actually a pretty good return, but not as much. 40% damage from INTZ compared to the 60 of Ace 1.
It's a good return, Ark, and as Marcel finds out, Emmerich, but you have to remember that if they didn't go for that and try and force away, yeah, you didn't get a kill onto INTZ, but you forced Guidu away from dealing damage to the Ike for a long period of time, which is only going to be beneficial, keeping your HP up. Duncan moves forward, will finally go out, though. The Bolt lead is insurmountable. INTZ. They have a level 10 siege bot. Filipino going in to milk the last bit of damage they can, dropping it down to 26% HP, and now they have to play full defense against INTZ as they walk into Ike range. The last call thrown out on top of it all. The bot's connected. It's not even done yet. INTZ take game number 1.
A really solid round. I've got to say there was a chance to defend it, but you had to focus on the players of INTZ to deflate the amount of damage that bot was going to do at the end. We saw that being done very successfully yesterday. Some of those pushes that we saw yesterday, which looked like they were unstoppable, were done so in exactly that manner, but with no super, no Gene, Superfire, Emmerich to be able to drag the bot, delay things, and all 3 members of INTZ putting down that damage. There was no question about it. INTZ played that very, very well.
They did, and I have to ask you a question. I think it will come down to personal preference though, Ark. Filipino at the end, we saw him go to try and milk out the last bit of damage against the Ike before dying. Is it a different story if they don't go for that play and start focusing on dealing with INTZ, the players themselves, to reduce the maximum damage of the push? Was it a misplay by Filipino to go for that?
It's a really difficult thing to tell. You're trying to balance the weight of the scenario and judge it in a real-time situation with pressure as well. Sometimes that can make all the difference. Other times, then, it can make it in the opposite way. So, yeah.
No, it still makes a difference, just not the one you want.
Yeah, exactly that. So, I think for me, more often than not, I see more value being placed upon taking down the opposition because there's so much damage which they can do on top of that bot distraction. So it's a personal preference, like you say, yeah, but I think that maybe targeting the opposition there would have been a better call.
Well, first no siege of this series as we go down. 40 seconds remaining until we get siege number 2. Lead in favor of Ace right now, and the Daryl pick from Emmerich finally coming online here, using the Daryl roll to shut down options and be able to dart between these lanes to have faster bolt collection.
Yeah, I like the Daryl pick, and Filipino using Tick there is going to focus on Guidu because every time that Guidu has to defend himself against that Tick head, he will lose that star power of batting stance, and that's his protective shield, which will prevent him from taking as much damage as he otherwise would.
Yeah, if you don't attack, then you get stronger. That's the irony of the BB initially. So looking to charge up, forces one away. This next siege bot is a level 12. Making that 13 in favor of Ace against the 7 of INTZ. If INTZ defend this, they're going to be in an amazing spot for the final siege.
Absolutely, they're banking another one there from Mark.
Oh, no.
Another on top of that, but look at this. All 3 members of Ace 1, they're going to go for this straight away. And there's the roll from Eric going straight in, but shut down so quickly. Duncan with bubble value, but it's Filipinos staying alive and getting continuation.
Not even shot with the siege bot, yes. Oh, no!
100%!
Oh my goodness. Also, that last bomb from the Tick was just slightly out of radii to be able to deal that final % of damage. They cannot let anyone get close. Emmerich can just Daryl roll onto that Ike to end it all. 1% is not defendable. Look, he's going to go for it right now. There's the dash in, and it just takes 1 normal attack. Oh dear, oh dear. There's the clap back from Ace 1.
fantastic round for them. I really like the brawler change-ups and thinking things through better. Tick here, very, very strong. And Daryl, I don't think INTZ were expecting that pick. You know, being able to close the gap on brawlers like BB and, you know, have that to your advantage goes a very long way.
Oh, absolutely. And now we look towards game number 3. And I have a feeling that INTZ may look for a change-up themselves on this one, Ark, just because they were unable to match what was thrown at them from Ace 1.
I think it would be a wise decision to make, yeah, and to find a balance between the throwers that they were playing, I think, Barley for a while, and yeah, Tick for me, I think, is the better choice here. BB wasn't getting much value with batting stance, so I think that's something to reconsider. I think they were far better off with home run myself. It's a very balanced star power, though, so it is a bit of personal preference as well, but yeah, changes may be needed.
Well, no real change. They're actually sticking... Oh, they are going to change it up, actually. Sorry, they got the Marcel onto the Gene this time around. It's going to help. Head first goes head in, and they use the gadget to force that one away. Matthias zoning them out. Another head first. They're coming in so fast for Filipino.
Yeah, definitely going for speed. Greedy swapping out to home run like I thought he might do, and definitely going to hopefully give him a bit more of an advantage. Matthias and Marcel are going to be the ones to watch working hand in hand. But I feel like Ace 1, feel like their comp was pretty good for the most part last time round, and still going to go in there with a pretty solid defense straight away early on, and they have the Bolt lead, but not the control of the mid.
No, and that's not conducive to maintaining that lead. Duncan moves forward, forcing Matthias back, doesn't allow them to get the cap, gets them with the bubble gum and the help of Filipino. That's what they need to get that mid control away from them. 17 seconds remaining until the next siege, and they've equalized the Bolt camp, and they're keeping up to them. Marcel walks forward, there's disengaged. They get the kill to stop the Bolt coming in. Guidu's now on the fire, looking to bank it. Can't find the confirmation in time, and Guidu gets away with that.
What a great turnaround there from INTZ. It felt like it was actually going to be going in the hands of Duncan, and he played that very well, maximum value there from his super down the mid as well. And INTZ played that very, very well. 2 players under pressure and coming out on top.
Bots not even going to get the connection again, I don't think. Nope, no damage on the safe. We've had 2 sieges with 0 Ike damage. This is coming down to the last siege. Truly, INTZ have closed the gap that Ace had coming into this final set of play. And I need to make sure they maintain it. Filipino, great pull there from Marcel. Gonna mean that he's off the field. The Bolt lead continues to grow for INTZ, but it's still enough to swing it back for Ace.
INTZ are playing so well to regain that control the way they have. Ace 1 just not confirming the kill. So important in Siege, especially with the respawn time to get back into the mix. That was a great round, and a level 12 now is surely going to deal some damage. I think actually some damage did go down from Ace 1, but it wasn't nearly enough. Look at this monstrosity, Tridd.
Oh, it's all over. Filipino, he just went in to try and find some damage onto the Icon and pray that there was going to be a solid defense, but they're not able to defend that. It was a level 12 coming in. Ark INTZ take the 3rd game. They will take the 3rd set as we look towards match point.
Looking like another good day for INTZ, the top gunners of the LATAM South region, and not showing any signs of slowing down today. But can Ace 1 bring things back around in the next game mode? It's going to be a big mountain to climb, but we have Sin reverse sweeps on the cards today. Didn't quite happen, didn't quite make it. The final hurdle failed, but it is on the cards.
Absolutely, and look at the stat line. The damage is basically, I think that's one of the closest damage lines we've seen potentially all year there. There was only a couple of 100 points in that. But in terms of the Bolt collection and kills, it was in favor of INTZ. No surprise there. Final map potentially as we head over to Hot Potato. It is a heist game type. And while Gale isn't banned, we've talked about the nerfs that don't make him as interesting as a prospect. Instead, we're getting one of your personal favorites. The Rico has joined us.
Love the Rico mid, yes. And Ace 1 have been warmed up to this. They didn't go their way against KGP the last time they were on this map, but they have played it today and running similar ideas in terms of their brawler comps. Just trying to look for INTZ to see yet. So no brawler's going to break any walls here, so that's good news for Duncan.
Yeah, it's going to be really good for Duncan to be able to keep bouncing those pellets off, but not very good if you're an Ace 1 fan, because the safe is already under fire from a last call and the pickaxe from Matthias, who wants to escape out of this, but will take the quick way back to the spawn instead, as they now look to trade off more damage. Marcel in the middle, taken around by Emmerich. They've not dealt with Filipino on the right-hand side, who's bringing perpetual damage in against that safe. And the same thing for Guido. No one's bothered to commit the resources to shut down the Barleys.
Yeah, a bit of a slip from Ace 1, a bit fumbling at the beginning there as to whether they should be contesting the lane or leaving it now, but now the return, the damage going in. Filipino with shots, Eric still alive, going down now, but wait.
Oh, no, Marcel.
Oh, Marcel, yeah.
Oh, he popped the super when he didn't need to. He could have saved that for the safe. He had the kill in the bag. I just don't think he knew all the spikes were going to hit. But Duncan deals with them as well, takes them off. So the return damage isn't there for INTZ until now. Guido gets the position. Matthias will probably go in with his super if he can find the opportunity. He just needs to shut down Emmerich first. The respawn to come in. Marcel getting to use his super on... Oh, it just misses the safe as well. Marcel, 2 supers in a row not being used for damaging the safe. It's a bit of a setback, but here's the commit from Matthias. The damage is coming in. INTZ need one more bottle, and they will take game number 1. They need one more to take the match.
Match point for INTZ there. It could have gone either way. I've got to say that was a really gnarly push from Ace 1. I've got to give a shout out as well to Matthias being so incredibly patient when it came to Duncan, who was running a robo retreat. So the additional speed that he had meant that that takedown was so important to deterring back Ace 1 and getting to that situation to seal the deal there. So INTZ now need one more win and they will be on top today.
Just want to circle back to your use of words there, Ark. Gnarly. The 90s? Where did that come from?
I lived in London for many years, Tridd.
Well, it was a gnarly push, I'll give you that one. Put them in the lead. One game away from guaranteeing themselves a tasty first place and doing more of the same of what we expect from INTZ. They are the representative from LATAM South that is going to the World Championship. You expect them to still have that level of dominance.
Wow, can Ace 1 recollect? Marcel going to go with the Daryl pick. Daryl's a good brawler to have here, actually, and Emmerich might need to consider his lane here. Filipino could get easily overrun. Daryl can actually earn super without having to achieve shots, but going in now early goes down as well. Could have been better to reserve that. Filipino now in a great spot to put damage down for Ace 1.
Taking a slight lead. It's being matched by Guido on the right-hand side. Filipino now actually changing lanes to go and deal with Guido. They've left Marcel on the left-hand side, so we will get Emmerich against Marcel in the left-hand lane. Emmerich, I think he was preempting the Daryl roll, so he uses the super on top of himself in the back court. We'll still get the kill, but now INTZ have a lead.
Yeah, pretty good lead as well. 40% damage at an early stage is a pretty good spot to find yourselves. But Eric going in now. Gadget Pop will be disastrous for INTZ. Eric got the spot, found the positioning, and that is not good news. But now Marcel as well, the other side of things. Matthias with shots. That is not good news for Ace 1.
Did you think Emmerich was the only one with a gadget? Ark, you forgot about the Daryl on the enemy safe, able to match out the percentage. They have a slight lead. A last call comes in from Filipino over to the INTZ safe. 15% stands in the way. Matthias can walk in here with a super, and he can clear that as well. Daryl's going to go for it. This is the push. The tankier members are there. The unhappy faces all aboard for Duncan. And INTZ close out the day with 2-0 in their group stage.
INTZ continuing their reign of the South LATAM region then. Victorious again. They've been so consistent, way out on the leaderboards in terms of points, and today staying strong is how they wanted to end the year. Congratulations to them. They take home that maximum prize money.
And maximum damage on the safe as well. They destroyed it both times, which means they just capped out at 90,000. Let's throw it over to Daniel to close out the region for the last time this year.
Impressed with the fight that Ace 1 did put up against INTZ, but at the end of the day, the champions of the region took this one down, and our MVP for this final match of the region is going to go to Guido. Do you know what? Straight away at the beginning, it put a big smile on my face when I saw 8-bit being played in Brawl Ball. Guido made really good use of the super and the new reworked star power for that speed boost. Switching over to Spike after that, going for raw damage. Guido took real advantage of Nani's range in Bounty. They played very, very aggressively. It paid off. Then completely outplayed Emmerich's Nani with the little peep-off that they had in Bounty, landing so many shots before finally switching to Barley in Siege and Heist, dealing ridiculous amounts of damage to the Ike, to the safe, as we tend to see Barley's do with that last call, with all the damage, with the pools of drink just staying there on the ground. Very, very impressive indeed from Guido and, of course, from INTZ, the champions of the region. And there you have it. That is the final LATAM South group result of the monthly finals. Can't believe 8 months have passed already. It has been an astonishingly fast year through Brawl Stars, but this is going to be this region. Here's the prize pool. $9,000 going to INTZ, $2,000 for KGP, and $1,250 for Ace1. Very nice prize pool for INTZ once again, but they're used to it. There you see them, top of the leaderboard, 280 points. They are the LATAM South team qualifying. But we already knew that. We already knew the results of this region when it comes to qualified teams. There's one more team left to qualify for global finals, which, by the way, is going to be the 21st of November. Look forward to that one, that weekend. It's going to be a good one.
Wow. Damage is rolling in with 6%. Drive there. One hell. Oh, this man is a machine.
All right, there you go again. 21st, 22nd of November. Look forward to that one. And it's going to be here at youtube.com/Brawl Stars Esports. That is youtube.com/Brawl Stars Esports. That's where you're going to find all future Brawl Stars Esports content. So make sure you are subscribed to that channel so we can give you all of the content, all of the esports events, all of the highlights, all of the interviews, all of that and more. So keep your eyes on the prize, but we're going to move on into the final region of the monthly finals. It's going to be North America and LATAM North. We've got Omen Elite, we've got Tempo Storm, we've got DUDUDUNGA, and there's a global spot on the line here. Omen Elite and Tempo Storm. Here's the leaderboard. Omen Elite sitting just 10 points ahead of Tempo Storm right now, but Tempo Storm could easily overtake. In fact, if Tempo Storm win this month's monthly finals, they're going to qualify. If Omen Elite win, then they're going to qualify. Everything to play for today. Take a look at the first match coming up. It's Tempo Storm up against DUDUDUNGA. And it is so important that Tempo Storm win this. Again, 10 points behind, but that isn't much in it. That really isn't much in it. As long as they are beating Omen Elite, they have a shot to qualify here, but here they are. It's Tempo Storm. 10 points behind, but with every possibility of qualifying today. Can they do it? They're going to need to take down DUDUDUNGA. Unlike what we heard earlier from Greekul, OG's favorite brawler has been Spike ever since the rework. It's cool how different teams have these dramatically different opinions when it comes to brawlers and how they've improved or gotten worse over time. It's really interesting to see. Let's take a look at DUDUDUNGA, the opposing team, and global final spot not on the line for DUDUDUNGA, who you formerly would have known as Cosmos Esports. Kennedy claims that his role in the team is being carried by his greatest of all-time teammates. Well, at least he's honest. Minwoong would agree with Kennedy and claims that his hobby is carrying his team. Well, I'm glad that Minwoong has all of the modesty on the team, but we're going to see if it pays off in the first match of the group.
And we are back. Happy to send y'all over to youtube.com/BrawlStarsEsports. But if you're cozy on twitch.tv/BrawlStars as well, you're happy to stay there, I think there's no problem with that at all. Our first match between Tempo Storm and DUDUDUNGA here in the North American region sees Sprout and Max Vandark.
Same brawlers as we saw for Ace 1 versus INTZ yet again. So yeah, two brawlers which can make a big difference to the outcome here as we go into our first game mode of Siege. Some assembly required. Looking forward to seeing these two teams go head to head. There's so much at stake today in the NA region. We've got Tempo Storm, Omen Elite, and one of these two teams is going to qualify for Worlds.
It's time to kick back and relax if you like really great Brawl Stars esports, because all you got to do is watch. It's these teams that have got all the pressure built up around them. But if you're a fan, you might be feeling the heat as well. An opportunity now for Tempo Storm to solidify their spot at the World Finals, but they've got to beat DUDUDUNGA first. They were the team at the very top of the North American leaderboards until last month when they got smacked down by Omen Elite. It is going to be a grudge match for the whole kit and caboodle when Omen Elite and Tempo Storm face off at the end of today. But they've got to pick up the win first against DUDUDUNGA.
Yeah, Tempo Storm first on the leaderboard since April. That is a huge amount of time to stay on top. But last month, like you say, taking that loss to Omen and Elite pushed them down, and they've got to recollect themselves this week. No time left in order to do it in a following month. So it's now or never for Tempo Storm.
DUDUDUNGA grabbed the first Siege bot, and that's a pretty big upset to start things off. OG, Alec, and Bobby all playing really long-range, kind of careful, high-damage brawlers. Two throwers and Spike to back him up. A common comp, but wow, nice pull there by Sky. Grabs that enemy Sprout and is able to pull him in and finish him off with Kennedy to help support. DUDUDUNGA with the pickup on that first bot have also got the second bot in the bag. A big bolt lead, and they are just stacking it even higher. Minmoon got the right side as... Who is that? Mike?
I was just about to say we didn't even realize because of all the action that was going with Sky and these amazing pulls on the left that Minwing has come in with a dynamite. What is life, Woody?
Explosions all around the map and chaos reigns supreme, unable to keep pace with so much dynamite going off. Alec goes down once again. The thrower v thrower match is going in Dynamite's favor as that quick fire response has given him a leg up on the competition. Not quite as much range, but hey, if you're already sitting right in the mid and grabbing those bolts, you've got what you need, and he is going to continue to pop down those supers from Alec. Great support from Sky there will back him up, and the third bot is almost guaranteed to come in for DUDUDUNGA. First win is almost in the bag.
Playing super well, and great shots from the Dynamite there. Minwoo using Satchel Charge there to get that stun off on Alec, and as a result winning his side for his team, and now a level 10. Not the start that Tempo Storm wanted. This is disastrous because DUDUDUNGA can actually make a difference to the outcome this month, Woody.
DUDUDUNGA, the meteorologist, saw this storm coming and ducked and hid out of the way of damage. 100% hit points remain on the DUDUDUNGA icon, all the way down to 43% without a single bot in their name. Tempo Storm have really been shaken by this first encounter and will have to come back with something else, change their brawler comp, because I think that they really got closed out of that game really early on.
And you mentioned the Twitch chat earlier on. If you do go to Twitch, you're likely to bump into me and Woody at some point. We'd like to get involved. And it was Spen LC that actually called it early on. The pro player from Tridd, the team captain, saying that Dynamite here actually countered, and he stands completely truthful. That's what we saw. And now the question is, what's happening in this next game? Are they going to keep playing Dynamite?
He's long and strong. Min Wong is back at it again. DUDUDUNGA up top, holding on to their lead, and can they continue to justify these interesting brawler comp picks? Not going to be back with Dynamite this time around. Minwoo instead is going to be in with Sandy, really high utility brawler, but he's got some weird angles up against Alec right now, who's just throwing those bottles from behind the obstacles. Minwoo's going to sneak in and grab one bolt, and that might be enough to give DUDUDUNGA the first bot. Can they hold on to the left side though? Tempo, OG, and Bobby both charge it in. It's a tie, Ark.
Yeah, tie and pulls on both sides from both Sky and Bobby. You actually go down on the Temperstorm side of things. So actually Sky with the better interaction there. OG has super looking to shut down that bolt and push back Kennedy. But I like the fact that OG is focusing with Kennedy because Spike a great counter to Jackie, who's a very dominant force on this particular map.
Bobby misses the super, and Sky will uppercut him with that great grip from afar, finishing him off and giving DUDUDUNGA another chance to send in a big old bot. The second siege almost guaranteed to come in from them. They've got 11 bots, and this could be a one-punch knockout, Ark.
This is the thing right now, but Temperstorm have got to get themselves together. This is not going well for them, but OG juking that super there from Sky could be a way to start things off, but no bolts really in their pocket. Even going into this next round, if they do defend this push, they're in a bad shape. Bobby's got pulled the healing tonic there, going out from Alec. It's actually a great defense there from Temperstorm.
Like a brick wall, Temperstorm shuts that bot down. Only 12% damage on their Ike, and they are still in this one, Ark. They've got a bolt advantage, not holding on to mid. Can they get back in there? 6-3 bolt line right now with 22 seconds till the next siege.
Not much time left, and right now DUDUDUNGA have the mid control. It's Minwin retreating with that Bolt Kennedy on his own, but he will find enough time to bank it, I think, with the suck as well. Sky missed the pull. The bolts are very much in favor of DUDUDUNGA, and I think the time has run out for Temperstorm in siege. Level 10 coming in for DUDUDUNGA and Minwin with the cry faces.
DUDUDUNGA have done it. The first set going to them without a single siege bot attacking their Ike. A little bit of poke and prod there from Temperstorm, trying to get some damage off, but not even able to get it below that 80% threshold that DUDUDUNGA picked up earlier on. That is a clear and convincing win for our upstart challengers. They are going to take set number 1.
Wow, I mean, that is a really, really good start for DUDUDUNGA, and I think that many may be coming to the stream just expecting it to be all about the favorites, Temperstorm and Omen Elite, but DUDUDUNGA can make a big difference to the outcome, and if this continues to go this way, Temperstorm's chances of qualifying for Worlds could be very, very much in question. They've got to turn this around, and they do not want to waste any time now going into the next game mode.
Much more damage dealt by Temperstorm, but you see that the kill score line is so far in DUDUDUNGA's favor, it's not even close. Big bolt pickups from them as well, guaranteed massive strikes from those bots. I'm not even sure if Temperstorm were able to leverage any push at all in that first set. But we're going into set number 2. As we all know, this is a best of 5 sets, each set being a best of 3 games. So Temperstorm has still got a long time left to make this comeback happen. They've had more difficult odds in the past, but will their practice be able to pay off?
For me, I actually think Merchfoot will open up the doors a bit more for Temperstorm. Alec loves to play Carl. Bobby loves to play Mortis. I think that those are brawlers which they could absolutely experiment with. I think that Bobby playing a lot of Gene right now makes sense to me because that's another of his favorites. And he's actually going to go with Pam. I can't remember the last time I even saw Bobby playing Pam here, but another great choice for mid. And yeah, we're actually going to see a mirror comp, but it's going to be a Tara Pam lane on both sides here.
Yeah, Infinity Mirror staring down their opponents. It's like that Spider-Man meme. It's both the same on both sides, but Pam going out on the right for Minwon, where he's on the left by Bobby from Temperstorm. An advantage for Alec as he's held court in the mid and grabbed 4 gems, but he's stunned. Tripwire goes off. Sky gets the kill, and that's 5 gems for the red team.
Guys, scraping away there, 125 HP. Bobby with just maybe a little bit more damage there. Could have got a takedown, putting DUDUDUNGA in a difficult spot, but now starting to gain back more control over the mid. You've got Alec with his mines down there in the center, and I imagine both of those two bows running that tripwire stun from the gadget, but now the healing shade on Sky will push back DUDUDUNGA into the mix, and the that's the stun! The stun! Sky goes down! Sky goes down, and OG with the super there to get the gems back into the hands of Temperstorm.
What a beautiful grab, but they cannot hold on. They should have pulled back sooner because the damage is dumped in there. DUDUDUNGA dropping a big fat one right in Tempo Storm's face and denying them any hope at victory in game number 1. This gem grab map has gone to DUDUDUNGA first off. The second game will see a terrible comeback, but I'm not sure if Tempo can hold on after being disgraced that badly by DUDUDUNGA. They had all the gems in their hands, Ark, and they just couldn't hold on to it.
Disaster! I can't believe that just happened. It looked like it was going back into the hands of Tempo Storm. They got mid-control. OG came in with a great super. It was Minwoo all alone there, but I guess great communication between Minwoo and Sky, because Sky was coming in from the spawn. There was no way for him to pop his gadget whilst he was respawning, so it must have been fantastic communication to make that play off.
Well, when they knew that the countdown had already started for Tempo Storm, they probably figured there was nothing else that they could do but cross their fingers and hope that that gadget would pop off at the exact right spot. That tripwire stunning the enemy line of attack when they thought that they had it in the bag. Tempo Storm finding all of a sudden that they were team wiped and unable to get back into it. DUDUDUNGA Sky is going to play very aggressively in the mid here, charging up, grabbing a couple of gems, but it seems like he's earned that opening, having kicked Alec out of the competition.
Alec, though, doing well against Sky, and Sky's going to go down here if he's not careful to Alec. 4 gems might be seeing their way back to Tempo Storm, but it's at the moment, Bobby's getting pressured by Minwoo, and it does seem like what seemed to be a chance for Tempo Storm to get control has dwindled yet again. Sky with 7 gems now. Kennedy popping gadget, giving complete awareness. And then though we see again the gadget stun from Sky. So devastating. And the countdown seems inevitable. It would be such a disastrous start for Tempo Storm to go to
the stun!
Return and just go down!
Tripwire catches Alec, and or Alec catches with the tripwire rather, taking down the enemy gem carrier. They're not going to get the countdown that they were looking for just yet, but Sky will charge back in, grab another 2, and there it goes.
Sky again weak. Alec has mines, but maybe not the best placement. It will encourage Kennedy to not go down to the right. We'll have to wait and see OG with a suck on Kennedy. Kennedy weak, goes down. That will reset the countdown, but Tempo Storm have got to get deep into the heart of the DUDUDUNGA spawn here, and Kennedy with a super on the left-hand side will be looking to shut OG down.
This is going to be super close. Alec has already used his tripwires. Can he get one more big super off? He's going to catch Sky here and now. Can't get the bomb off, and even with a big... Hold on! OG's done it! He grabs the gems and runs out as far as he can into the bushes. He finds a black portal. He's going down, but at least he's giving Tempo Storm another shot at glory.
A great valiant attempt from OG there under pressure to survive as long as he did, but Alec propped those mines a bit prematurely. It's Kennedy who they need to take down. Kennedy's the only one who goes, he goes down! He goes down in the spawn! Resetting it once again. Tempo are not giving up easy.
They've got to take down Sky. There's no way that help by killing Minwoo would get them enough to get over that hump. 11 gems in Sky's hand and only 5 seconds left. He's got a healing turret to top him back off. Bobby just does not have the scrap to get it done, and DUDUDUNGA have gotten another win. Set 2 in the bag, and they are trouncing Tempo Storm.
I don't know if my heart is gonna take it in this stream with plays like that. I mean, Tempo Storm gave it all they had there and only came back just slightly thin on their luck. Valiant attempt to get the gems out on multiple occasions. But what have they got to do then to take down DUDUDUNGA? They are 71 gems, Woody.
This is terrifying for Tempo Storm, but you gotta imagine Omen Elite are pumping their fists. If Tempo Storm fall here and now, that is really gonna shatter their chances at World's Finals qualification. We've got a $1.5+ million prize pool this year for all these Brawl Stars events, and the bulk of it is going out next month. But in order to get there, you've gotta be the best team in the region. We thought that Tempo Storm was that team, but the storyline has completely flipped. The script is burning up in my hands as DUDUDUNGA are now just 1 set away from the win.
And it could be this set right here, GG Mortuary. I call it GG Corral yesterday. I'm an OG, guys. Forgive me. But great to see it coming back into the
Original gamer, right?
Yeah, exactly that. If you're an original gamer, you know, good old OG. So it's an interesting map. It's going to open up a lot of opportunities to use brawlers like Brock to jump over the walls, or we might even see Gale to use that gadget to jump over as well. Daryl with the rolls over the lake. It plays out very, very differently to a lot of normal heist maps, and already Bobby calling in a Meteor there as well to open up that side. So Primo making an appearance here, which is not normal to see in Heist.
Yeah, Minwoong rolls over the lake and will get to the other side, walks straight to the Heist safe and starts blowing it apart, pops a gadget too to dump even more damage in there. Great early hit for DUDUDUNGA, bringing it down to 60%. Tempo Storm unable to keep pace, just at 81. There goes Bobby punching through. I never thought a Fist of Fury could deal so much damage to solid steel, but that DUDUDUNGA safe now below half hit points. Tempo Storm is pulled back ahead.
I got to say, Tempo's playing very, very well. I mean, Alec there was under a lot of pressure on defense, and he came out on top. It could have been a lot more than 40% damage, and Bobby and OG got in some good value there. They are definitely feeling the heat. That's definitely the case here, as we can see, but they are doing well to defend this. Minwoong looking to roll. I guess waiting for Kennedy and Sky to get their supers as well. DUDUDUNGA here, gearing up for something big, I feel, and they want to end this here.
They are deploying maximum effort in this, what could be the final set of their hopes at World Finals. Tempo Storm in the lead, but by only 12%, and it's whittling away fast. Every single shot from Kennedy is bringing them closer and closer to destruction. Now tied exactly dead even at 48% damage on both of these saves. One last minute to determine the winner.
Kennedy with good shots as well. Incendiary star power getting good effect. Oh my goodness me! The gadget pull over the wall got the takedown for them as well. And now Minwoong looking to find the gap. OG shutting down the lane, spins around the works as Bobby tries to get a super, can't get it. There's the chance if Tempo Storm can reconvene here, but Minwoong, a desperate threat on the right-hand side. Alec with a bit of a misroll there as well. It's disastrous for Tempo Storm.
Imagine losing your world's qualification spot to a rocket jump from Brock. That may very well have been what we just saw, Ark. Great job to DUDUDUNGA, have got maximum pressure, and even with the repulsion by Tempo at the end, 10 seconds are left, and that's a lot of damage left to deal if they want to even things up.
It's not over! It's not over! The Rocket Ray Reggie! No! The defense is there! DUDUDUNGA under maximum pressure in the final seconds. Stay firm against my suspicions that might have been enough. No! DUDUDUNGA say no, Woody!
Rocket rain from Brock brings the shock and awe, but hidden safe in their bunker, DUDUDUNGA barely keep their heads above water. A slim majority of hit points favoring them at the end. That tiebreaker match will not see an end to it. DUDUDUNGA have got a slim lead and just need one more win now. The match point opportunity to close it all out.
I'm pretty much speechless at this point because DUDUDUNGA are playing so incredibly well against a world-class team like Tempo Storm, who've been by far one of the most consistent teams this year, and they've held that leaderboard for so long. You got to ask yourself what would have happened if they ran into each other more in the lead up to this. They have been working so hard, but now Tempo Storm have got a mountain to climb, and I don't know whether they're going to have enough time to climb it.
Well, let me play out for you a disaster scenario for Omen. If DUDUDUNGA get first place, but then Tempo beat Omen Storm and get second place, then that would put the whole series to a tiebreaker with a 7th match to follow in this North American region.
Can you imagine that this comes down to a head-to-head with Tempo Storm and Omen Elite? Alec rolling in, Minwoong rolling as well. I feel like Alec's got the worst deal of the bargain there. Goes down, but comes back up in HP actually with the heal that he got off. It's OG going with the dynamite pick. I've just noticed to the left-hand side as well. And we'll have to wait and see if that fares well. It fared well for DUDUDUNGA. Will it fare well for Tempo Storm now?
Alec and Bobby both playing very defensively, not going to boost up OG. Instead, he's going down, and it's back to defense now. Minwung is juking and threatening with this super to hop over the wall and get some damage straight in on the safe, but Alec is laying in wait. Full health Daryl on defense. It's going to be hard for them to get through. A super from Spike will be able to get the safe nicked down to 93% overall. That's an even score line there. But with Alec rolling over the wall, it's up to OG to defend against the Daryl. Can he do it?
He's doing a great job of doing it. 56 HP, but now the final seconds, the gadget comes in, Koch! That is something that you do not see every day. A very, very great defense from OG. You do not want to ever go up against the Daryl with max HP as the dynamite on defense in Heist, which just goes to show how well Temperstorm are doing. DUDUDUNGA are doing incredibly well to face off the way they are against Temperstorm right now.
Try nitrotoluene! OG tossing the TNT for maximum effect. That gadget, the saving grace of the Tempo Storm squad, ahead by 30% damage overall, and just needing to block out this final push. They might have done it, even up the set here and now. This is a match point opportunity, and OG with a celebratory gadget tosses out more damage on the enemy safe. Tempo have done it.
Reverse sweep question mark. That is the question now.
Oh, Jinx and Ark. Come on, man.
I know, I'm sorry. We should just have a rule where I just never say that line on stream, because we know, we've been here long enough to know that every time I've said it, it goes wrong for a team. But gotta hand it to Temperstorm in that game. The pressure that they must have been under, and to still do things like defend against that Daryl the way they did, very, very commendable there. Still match point for DUDUDUNGA, but nonetheless, there's still some fuel left in the tank for Temperstorm.
That really is just the perfect time to use a Mike gadget. I'm actually a little bit surprised that it took him so long with Daryl right on top of him. When you just need a little bit tiny more damage, pop the gadget, so many bombs go off, it's almost impossible not to get a little bit off. And with only 56 hit points there, Minwung was in a bit of trouble, couldn't seal the deal. And with that, we are now still at match point for DUDUDUNGA. A win in this game will take it all for them. But Tempo Storm showing some life now, that rhythm coming back and giving them another opportunity to stay alive.
Well, we need to check, but it could very well be the first time ever that Fidget Spinner has actually got a kill. But OG sticking with the dynamite pick. He's feeling good about it. Minwung now looking to find the space as Bobby and OG forced to the left. Alec then staying to the right, ready for that roll. And Minwung actually showing that, yeah, guys, you shut me down well. I'm going to have to go over here now. And, you know, they're starting to show maybe a few signs of caution from DUDUDUNGA. The roller for Bobby is good, though. The jump away is better to a point, as it now leaves OG with some shots off to finish off Minwung, shutting down that push from DUDUDUNGA.
No damage yet on either safe. Kennedy's going to launch the Rocket Rain, though, and that's going to open up a big compartment, really making it easy for DUDUDUNGA to get a strike in there. But hold on, because Alec has made his way to the enemy safe as well, rolling straight through, but not really opening up as much damage as you might have expected. Minwung caught him up there unguarded, and only 3% damage. Tempo Storm didn't get the big strike they were hoping for, but they are technically in the lead right now.
It was a fantastic roll from Alec and a really smart play to be so sneaky there. Minwung had no idea where Alec was until he went for the roll, so I feel like Alec there could have got actually more damage, but he was hard done by there. That wasn't his fault. He actually played it to perfection. And again, it just goes to show how close these two teams are right now as Minwung approaches the same.
Oh, my goodness!
My goodness me! What a roll from Minwung. The damage as well going in. What a play from DUDUDUNGA.
Rip it in the Terran. He rolls straight through two brawlers and does a little spin and congratulatory back patting on the end. That could be it. DUDUDUNGA far and away the favorites to win it all. Here they go. Match point closing now, Ark.
It's going to be Minwung on the save for the final trickles of damage. I don't think it's going to be enough. Kennedy coming back in for the respawn. DUDUDUNGA have done it against Temperstorm.
dropping a nuclear bomb right in the eye of that hurricane. They have disrupted these world's finalist attempts, and they are death, the destroyer of worlds. DUDUDUNGA sitting high and mighty with a 3-0 sweep of Tempo Storm will face off against Omen Elite next. Can they do the unthinkable and knock apart 2 worlds qualifying teams?
Can you imagine that this story unfolds in the final monthly final? DUDUDUNGA are on a roll, and now are Omen Elite going to put an end to it and slam this thing down? Because if DUDUDUNGA can do it again, then we have got a mighty, mighty story developing here in the final of the NA region. Let's head over to Falcone. What did you make of that?
I would say, Ark, that was quite an upset, actually. Not what any of us expected, but an outstanding performance from DUDUDUNGA indeed. The MVP of that match is going to go to Minwoong, and with very good reason. I mean, firstly, the first thing I've written in my notes here is Dynamite. Need I say more? But honestly, it was much more than that. They kept perfect control of Siege. He played some Sandy, which worked out just as effectively. We had very comfortable wins in set 1 and set 2, with Minwoong continuing to control the game. Incredibly consistent play. Finally, it was Daryl in Siege, literally barreling through his opponents and annihilating the enemy safe. I am overwhelmed by this performance against Tempo Storm, who have been one of the top dogs of this region. But now things aren't looking so good for Tempo Storm anymore. Let's take a look at the bracket and where things stand. Now, Tempo Storm 10 points behind Omen Elite coming into this month. Tempo Storm lost 0-3, which means it's extremely unlikely / impossible for them to come first in the group, which means the only way that they can qualify for globals is if Omen Elite come third and Tempo Storm come second, and then they play out a tiebreaker. So there's a lot that can go wrong for Tempo Storm still. Let's take a look at the next match. It's Omen Elite versus DUDUDUNGA. We'll see if DUDUDUNGA can perform the same amazing play against Omen Elite as they did against Tempo Storm. And if that's the case, we should be keeping an eye on this team next year. But let's talk about Omen Elite for a second. Again, currently the favorites to win the spot for Global Finals. And if things don't go wrong for them, they've got it. This is so close. They can taste Global Finals. Zulan, Tyrant Star, Super Sai, and Corey. And I just want to get into the next game. I need to see what's going to happen, but standing in their way is DUDUDUNGA, who were formerly Cosmos Esports. So it's not the first time we've seen them, although it's the first time we're hearing this name. Marley, Minwoong, Kennedy, and Skywalker make up this team. Skywalker says that a large part of his strategy is to keep a positive mindset even if the team are behind a couple of sets. That can be super important, though we didn't see that at all in the previous match. Kennedy's superpower is sleeping. Guess we've got a Sandy main over here. Either way, let's hope he wakes up for this next match.
Thank you very much, Ark. It's the second game of the North American region, and with Tempo Storm already losing to DUDUDUNGA, it's not looking good for their World's qualification spot, but Woody, there is still a path to victory for them, and it starts with a victory, at least a victory, by going up against DUDUDUNGA. There's your bans on the screen, Gene and Max being taken off the board.
Yeah, Omen Elite now going up against DUDUDUNGA puts Tempo Storm in an awkward spot where they are now cheering for the team that just defeated them. Even though they just had a brutal matchup, they're hoping beyond hope that Omen falls, because otherwise their spot in the World Finals is out of it. This has been the tightest region that we have seen from around the whole world. Omen Elite and Tempo Storm have been neck and neck every single month going up into this last qualifier. And it all comes down to this, Tridd. The next two matches, we'll see Omen Elite try to outseat DUDUDUNGA. A win here would spell a big chance at victory for them, but not actually be enough to guarantee their win. It will all still rely on that third and final match between Omen Elite and Tempo Storm.
Let's have a look as we jump into our first round. It is Brawl Ball, and I can see on the board we've got ourselves a Ball, a Poco, a Jackie. So it's an old classic Slambulance for Omen Elite. But then when we look on the for Dunga lineup, it's or DUDUDUNGA, sorry. That name's gonna throw me off all day. We got Marley on the Spike, and Sky already picking up a first kill onto Zulan, but it's Minwoong on the I've forgotten Sprout. Sorry, I keep forgetting names today. It's really bad.
Yeah, it was Minwoong who was cracked and shattered the competition in the last matchup. Really did a stellar job with multiple different brawler picks, showing off a wide range of skill and even coming out with some off-meta selections, especially when he moved in with Dynamite there. Tyrant started playing very aggressively, not getting much damage in, but really forcing DUDUDUNGA all the way back into their own spawn zone. The kickoff is going great for King Zulan, but he can't get the ball past the line, even with some super coverage to help him out.
He had Ball just charge through to break the territory, leading the charge, but they weren't able to convert on that set piece. Ball in the side of DUDUDUNGA as Sky will roll forward looking for Corey. Tried to get that super forced out of him, but won't find that extra healing. And so it means that Corey will have that for the next push, and it's looking good for them already as Zulan and Tyrant start walking forward. The heal comes in. Glad he saved hold of that one, but now they look at the pinch. Marley take the spike off the board, get 2 fast kills and get the ball over the line. Zulan processes Tyrant Star, he can walk it in. First goal going the way of Omen.
Celebration from the Canadian squad. Omen Elite pick up their first goal, and with that, the first set is looking to go in their favor. No big, heavy brawlers from the DUDUDUNGA squad, and they just cannot keep pace against so much damage in close range combat that Tyrant Star has been putting up there. The leader of this squad is all of a sudden falling apart, out of position now. Minwoong goes around the back end and slaps it straight in for the equalizer.
Just walks it in effortlessly, does it with a portion of the HP that was available for Tyrant Star when they did it on the side of Omen Elite. Scores even, 20 seconds remaining. Corey has the ball past the bin with Sky CB.
What the hell?
All the time. Sky gonna walk it in, and DUDUDUNGA take the first game.
That was a throw from Omen Elite if I've ever seen one. 2 super heavy close range brawlers able to suppress enemy fire with a 1-0 scoreline lead, and then they toss it away in the matter of seconds? What are we watching, Tridd?
Tempo Storm's wish being fulfilled. That's what we're watching right now, Woody, as Omen Elite go down 0-1 in the first game, but we've got plenty of more sets to come and games as well. So second attempt at Brawl Ball will be coming on the stream very shortly. Now, the classic Slambulance wasn't working out for them. Like you said, Woody, they had the initial lead. They somehow threw that lead away based on the comp they had. Does that force them to change out brawlers, or do they just look at tidying up those mistakes?
Yeah, I think they just need to tighten up a little bit better. They had the advantage in that game number 1. Nonetheless, though, they are going to swap out brawlers. Both teams going for Sprout. Remember, we've got Gene and Max banned out from this match, so that's a lot of the more mid-range brawlers that can kind of shut down for a big amount of damage. Instead, they're going to be playing for midfield control and trying to juke around their opponents. Those Sprout supers can come in really handy, especially with so many obstacles up in the early game.
And Zulan rolling out on the Tara as well, able to get that gadget to find out where they're hiding in the brush, but the gravity is going to be really impactful later on, looking to remove possession of the ball and cut down the aggression of Sky, who keeps going in, ham, window to the wall with this call.
Unrelenting pressure from DUDUDUNGA, having picked up a win early on. They're trying to back it up again, and it seems like Tyrant Star is just not getting the value he's looked for with this Carl, being forced back so many times. He's supposed to be the mid-range expert. Carl is so difficult to deal with when he's got an obstacle that he can use to block for enemies, but just so far he has really been forced back by a Spike whose recently buffed damage is so hard to overcome.
Tyrant Star able to take this engagement prolonged with Marley. He's been getting the help from the spooky ghost, because the star power that came out from Zulan's actually the one that's going to heal allies rather than go for the offensive ability as well. So more supportive choice or flavor of gravity coming out from Vatara.
All right, well, we are back at square one. No goals yet for either team, and it's fight for the midfield control. Big super from Minwoong is going to paint King Zulan into a corner, but Sky goes for the backside instead. Doesn't get the kill he's looking for, but he has really weakened up Corey a lot. Corey's still going to be firing away, though. Knows that he's safe behind those walls, especially with Minwoong on the opposite side, not able to get the shot off there. Tyrant Star fires that pickaxe off a few more times, but he is not getting the damage he's been looking for in the early game. Once these boxes come tumbling down in overtime, though, I think Tyrant Star could get a big pickup in damage.
If you can hold on to the super for long enough, you might be forced to use it because, well, DUDUDUNGA, they're going to go aggressive. They always do. As they're putting the ball in the center, but apparently they have similar ideas in mind, Woody, where they might just play for overtime right now as well as we get closer down to the wire.
Minwoong dropping that little sad sticker, not sure what he's too depressed about here. Those pins sometimes revealing how these players feel, but sometimes being a little bit of a confusion more than anything else. As time goes down, though, it's possession from Sky, and the sneaky shot right as the boxes are finished off. DUDUDUNGA's Sky has fallen straight into Omen Elite's face, and the pickup in game number 2 seals the deal. Victory for DUDUDUNGA in the first set.
I could that ball and that play happened so slow. I could see that moving frame by frame, Woody. And yet Omen Elite couldn't see it coming and get in position to stop that super pass from just over the halfway line. That, I feel, is 2 instances of Omen Elite dropping the ball in back-to-back games on Brawl Ball.
Yeah, really unfortunate for them to have lost possession in the late game of that last round, but there's not really a whole lot you can do with a super shot like that. You can't grab onto it. It's going to pass right by you. In fact, I think Sprout was there on defense right in between the attacker and the goal line, but unable to pick it up and defend. It bounced right past him and delivered a very sneaky win right at the beginning of overtime. We're going into nuts and bolts now, though. Set 2 is the name. Or set 2 is the number, rather, of the game we're going to be starting off with, though. But DUDUDUNGA picking up another win, a 3-0 smack of Tempo Storm to start things off, and now leading the match against Omen Elite.
Run from it, dread it, run from it. DUDUDUNGA come all the same, and now Omen Elite and Tempo are feeling the hurt a bit. Now, Marley bringing out the Frank this time around, already boxed in the corner by Tyrant and Corey with these throws. Now they're going to bank up these bolts and try and keep control of the mid. Minwoong should be able to set up a super, but he gets taken out before they can manage it. And that means that Omen Elite are going to be able to match the bolt score and cause a tie. They do walk away with mid control as we look ahead to the next siege.
Yeah, this is a brilliant start for Omen Elite. Only 2 gems in DUDUDUNGA's favor, and with really super heavy brawlers, they have got to compete harder for that midfield control. Tyrant Star getting some great shots off here and throws his super a bit early. Molly will be able to juke around the side of it, but isn't going to be able to get any swings off just yet. Molly continuing to pressure that left lane, but Sky's going to come in and help him. Looks like Tyrant Star is in a bit of a pickle, but meanwhile, Omen Elite have held court in the midfield and grabbed every single bolt that spawned so far. 13 to their name, and this could be a one-punch kill.
And this is what's going to be so problematic about DUDUDUNGA, because what happens now, Woody? The level 15 minimum siege bot comes out, forces DUDUDUNGA back into the Ike range to be able to defend, and then they have to go on the offense to try and reclaim mid all over again. It takes them way too long to get in a position to contest the mid, and I'm pretty much confident with calling that this game is over. Omen Elite are going to walk away with it.
It's not over quite yet. Look, DUDUDUNGA have a really good setup for defense, and as you see there, the Ike is going to survive. The advantage that they have now moving into the last bot is that they will be able to push with all of their might. They don't have to worry about competing for midfield control after this last siege bot, but they do have to get some bolts on their side. They've only were able to pick up 1 single bolt in that last round, and with Omen Elite holding mid, it looks like you're going to be right after all, Tridd.
Yeah, I just didn't have confidence in DUDUDUNGA to be able to reclaim the territory.
No, they've
There's
given
so
up.
much space. Yeah, they have to give up. There's no way they mounted. Look at the bolt lead, 7 in favor of Omen Elite. If they didn't do it in that one push, like you said, Woody, it was going to be all over because they're not going to be able to reclaim this lead. So that means Omen Elite going to take game number 1, but DUDUDUNGA, great to see them. They just accept that fact. They go, right, we've lost this round. It doesn't really matter. Let's just think about what happens in the next game and clap back as hard.
Brother versus brother, Molly and Minwoong firing away at each other on the right side corner as they recognize Omen Elite will claim victory. No way to stop them that late in the game, and DUDUDUNGA are starting to show some cracks in their armor. Omen Elite finding a big pickup in game number 1 with some really light brawlers, heavy damage glass cannons, all 3 of them, and yet they were able to crack through the defenses set up by a Frank and a Pam. Those are some really strong brawlers, and if you're able to deal over 10,000 damage managed to knock Frank down. Expect to see that Ike get some more punishment in game number 2.
Rightio, Woody. Compositional changes from DUDUDUNGA. Finally going to be able to match them, and Omen Elite aren't without change themselves. They bring the jacket to the field for Zulan. But now we've got the surge for Sky, who's immediately been destroyed by Zulan, and Marley's going to struggle to keep a hold of this territory because Zulan can just run straight at them.
Bouncy shots from Molly get a few more points of damage off on Zulan, who's going to have to pull back into the bushes. Great use of the photosynthesis there. Molly is going to be able to top himself back up and stay healthy, but dang, they couldn't get any bolts at all. DUDUDUNGA were fighting for control of mid, but the spawn's just really coming in Omen Elite's favor, and that's going to be the first big bot rolling on through.
Locked away by Marley, so that's great that we're going to see the bot get papped around, buy some more time for this defense, but while it's tanking, it just means that the rest of Omen Elite can get that free damage. They've dropped it by over 50% of its HP just from the first siege alone. This is not looking good for DUDUDUNGA.
Moon in a fearsome 2v1, forced back to his own spawn, but with Molly's support, might be able to take out King Zulan after all. A super to pull them all in, but couldn't knock them down. Molly survives and will grab another bull, giving DUDUDUNGA a little bit of breathing room here. The next siege coming in is almost guaranteed to be an Omen Elite one, and here it comes, charging in, but only level 6. This could be a lot more damage, but DUDUDUNGA might be able to survive after all.
Trying to get a kill on Marley. Okay, they'll have time to reset. I think one of the big problems here for Sky is that they're not able to stay alive and stack up the damage. And speaking of damage being stacked, it's all going on DUDUDUNGA's save for Ike. And Omen Elite equal up the series, taking us to a 1-1 scoreline.
Excellent job to Omen Elite. DUDUDUNGA just fell apart in set number 2, unable to keep pace and hardly able to grab any bolts at all. Omen Elite really played to their advantage in that second round and have tied the series up now. Just look at that final bot marching through. Defenses are impossible for a DUDUDUNGA squad that is comprised so heavily of throwers and just cannot soak that damage out in front. Sky doing his best to take a few shots and knock down the enemy brawler line out back, but look at that damage differential and the kill differential especially.
Yeah, absolutely huge in favor of Omen Elite, and I guess that's a really nice kind of poetic conclusion to set number 2, because in set number 1, Woody, they just threw, and in this time they managed to succeed by throwing themselves. So this is really going to be interesting as we move over to Bounty with Snake Prairie. We usually see the usual suspects of the likes of Bo, a little bit of Tara, and now we're seeing Piper thrown into the mix as well by Zulan. Well, check out what DUDUDUNGA's running. We're looking again, but they're also running the Piper themselves, so mirror compositions on Snake Prairie.
Crushing defeat for DUDUDUNGA in that second set, but Omen Elite have got another thing coming if they think they're going to get an easy win this time around. Grabbing the first kill. First Blood is backed up with the second kill and the center star. DUDUDUNGA have really got a big lead in this bounty game.
They've reset up.
Oh my goodness.
Left-hand side to DUDUDUNGA with the gravity. Oh no. Gonna get that kill on there as Corey's taken out. Lead extending for DUDUDUNGA. Not a single kill in favor of Omen Elite yet, Woody.
Look how many stars stacked up on DUDUDUNGA's head. They've got 10 total for their team, and Omen Elite would need to get that team wipe just to pull ahead by one single star.
I mean, that's a tall order, and they can play so defensively. There's only so many gadget uses that can be used by the Taras to scope out and get the intel. All the blind firing from Zulan that's coming in here just to attempt to find him. Tyrant Star knows where they are, going to throw out the gravity, try and get the suck onto Sky. Caught out by Corey, the pinch damage is there. Omen Elite go on the aggression, and get a few kills in favor of them. 14-6 still in favor of DUDUDUNGA.
Yeah, that's an 8 scoreline lead for DUDUDUNGA, and Omen Elite are just in shambles right now, having fallen apart in set number 3. They are just trying to recoup, lick their wounds, and make one more charge back at the enemy line. I see a total of 10 stars in DUDUDUNGA's headspace, so that's going to require a team wipe by Omen Elite to get a victory here and now.
They could look at going for the draw. They can just get Sky and Minwoong, but you always want to go for the win. Marley.
Oh!
We locked in the corner. There's that first kill.
What is Minwoong doing? He's just sitting there.
Oh, but he's able to get a kill himself. He back. He was just waiting in stealth, and it's guaranteed the victory. Omen Elite couldn't find Minwoong in time. And he just 200
IQ play from Minwoong, lying in wait, hiding in the bushes. You know, sometimes I forget that I can see where all the brawlers are,
Yes.
but the enemies cannot see where they are. Minwoong pops off on some massive close range damage for a double kill that guarantees victory.
Look at that as well, right at the end. Right, so here's the thing. Here's how that worked, Woody. Minwoong could actually see it with his own star power because you get the increased range in the bushes. But I think Corey was too far away to spot him.
Great point there, and fantastic positional awareness from Minwoong. Not that time around, though. Knocked down by Tyrant. For Omen Elite.
Speaking of positional awareness, he gets point blank with a sprout and ends up losing. But now Zoo lands on the right hand.
Sprout shots off that close, and Minwoong actually might not have been disfavored, rather, but with another big gravity well, he's in a lot of trouble at the right side. Tyrant Star is ripping through him, tossing cards left and right, and that is going to be a furious
Someone saved
fight.
Corey. Someone helped Corey. No one helped Corey that entire time. And the Shadow Clone from Sky was running them down the entire round. And because they had permanent intel of where Corey was, it just takes Sky to walk forward and throw out one set of cards to get the kill. No one from Omen Elite helped out the Sprout, who had a really hard time of dealing with that Shadow
Oh my God,
Clone.
Molly. The pro sniper getting so many great hits off, especially when you can back her up with Sky right beside, throwing off a gravity well, immobilizing enemies, and getting beautiful long-range hits. Molly is really helping out on the backside very well.
Yeah, all the intel. Gravity just found Sky on the corner. Zulan on the off angle will find the kill as well. Brings it to 1 star. Marley on the fire, 11-9. And Omen Elite clinched the lead with 30 seconds left.
Not so fast, Tridd. A tripwire on the other side, and it looks like Minwoong has done exactly what he needed to do. The defense holding on, and a sneaky super will put DUDUDUNGA back in the lead.
And that Sprout will block off the aggression. It will tuck to the left. Sky is waiting with this gravity. He wants Tyrant Star to walk forward, cross the line. Right, point blank range, drops the gravity, but Tyrant Star takes him out too fast! They've equalized the score, throw out the gravity at the end. The Shadow Clone is on the hunt. They need one more kill. This could end in a draw because of a misplay coming out from Sky.
Guy playing way too aggressively at that end game, if you ask me. When you're ahead in stars, all you got to do is sit back and twiddle your thumbs until the win comes. This time around, though, Omen Elite will get a chance to tie up this set, but they're going to have to find a chance to get the win. Way more kills from DUDUDUNGA, but because they had all those stars sitting on top of their head, Omen Elite will squeak out with a draw in game number 2.
And we just keep rolling into these games incredibly fast. The players are just eager and ready to go, Woody. They roll out on the exact same composition. Intel fed over by the gadget coming out from Tara. First start claimed by Omen Elite.
An easy, quick little small pickup there. Minwoong threatening King Zulan, just needed one more hit, but couldn't find it. Nice job there to King Zulan on the retreat. Tyrant Star crosses a gravity well, and Minwoong survives, escapes with the help of Molly, and DUDUDUNGA are back in the lead.
And that is an extra value escape there coming from Marley, creating a bridge or a lack thereof in the grass, which just is going to help them keep track of where the members of Omen Elite are. They'll probably want to walk forward and finish that off on the left-hand side. Maybe the mines from Minwoong could go ahead and do that, just so they can have a definitive break in the grass. But Corey's looking to do the same, cut them off with the Sprout Walls, unable to find it. Mines go out there. So they have absolute intel, apart from on the right-hand side is where they'll have to worry about the stealth coming from.
DUDUDUNGA with a 1-star lead, not decisive by any means, and Corey's in an awkward spot now. Charges in, Sky knocks him down. That's a big pickup for DUDUDUNGA. A lot more breathing room, and they only have to focus on the right side of the map now that they've taken it down with Piper's Super. There is no easy entry for Omen Elite.
They have absolute read of intel of where everyone is going to be.
Oh, Minwoong in a lot of trouble.
Territory. Oh, Minwoong gets away with 28 HP, Woody!
The healing shade from Tyrant Star rather than a black portal means that Minwoong will barely survive and live to fight another day. Tyrant Star right in the thick of it gets fired on from all 3 angles, and the triangulation destructive nation DUDUDUNGA have held on to victory, spinning around happily in the bushes up top. An 8-1 scoreline, and almost nothing could give Omen Elite a chance to come back now.
Tyrant Star goes point blank range for a set of gravity, looks to kill a little onto Minwoong, needs 5 more stars. Sky may go down, but they will not find Marley in the back corner. And DUDUDUNGA take the second game and the third set.
The running riot from DUDUDUNGA. Rocky, the upstart challenger from the very bottom, training hard and facing off against a furious fight. Omen Elite and Tempo Storm steering DUDUDUNGA down, but they have come back on top each time around. Look at that. Now a 2-1 set scoreline for DUDUDUNGA and a chance to clinch first place in the North American region. $9,000 out there and up for grabs. DUDUDUNGA, the Perilous Penguins, might just have done it.
Perilous Penguins, as well as a Rocky reference. I'm loving it today, Woody, as DUDUDUNGA push themselves over the match point. Like you said, Minecart Madness could be our next stop. It is our next stop, actually, as we head over to Gem Grab. But we're looking towards the victory in here. Remember, Tempo Storm are off on the sidelines right now, cheering for DUDUDUNGA, praising that they finished this off to keep a window of opportunity for the Tempo Storm Worlds qualification to still happen. Set number 4, Minecart Madness. Let's get it on.
We'll start here as the minecart's going to be rolling in on the top side. First off, DUDUDUNGA are going to have to retreat. They grabbed one gem, but are in an awkward position with the midfield grab by Omen Elite. Boosting off of the support from that minecart, they are really making the most of it, and Omen Elite have charged through. They are not going to give up this set that easily.
Zulan under a lot of difficulty. Just being bounced off all with the seed. They bounced off the minecart really hard, and he's going to be super punished if that happens again, just because Marley's on the field with the Sprout. Corey can do the same thing. Of course, it's a little bit harder too. Marley going to put him out on the wall. Look at this, boxed it again. Marley finding these perfect opportunities to punish people caught out of position by the minecart by perpetually bouncing his attacks off of them.
Pirates start playing very aggressively up front, and Sky gonna pop off with a gadget right there just to stun and shut down that attacking Pam. Big advantage for Omen Elite, and Sky must feel like he's in a really desperate spot to have to use a gadget like that just to get back into the action. 7-2 scoreline in Corey's favor. The gym carrier for Omen Elite out bottom will be able to retreat back and hold on for a little bit longer. Sky and Minwoong doing their best to let the gems accumulate in the middle, but it looks like Sky has decided that he's going to be the gem carrier for DUDUDUNGA now, grabs a couple more and won't let Corey get those 3 in the middle that easily. Corey charges Indo, and there he's going! The countdown has started, Tridd!
And they are not in range to attack here. It's one of the things they're lacking on the DUDUDUNGA lineup. They have to get extremely close, or a lot closer than you would do normally, to try and take out Corey. They're on the back line. These gems are in the spawn. Even if they kill now, they can disrupt the timer, but they won't get the gems out of the spawn. This is an impossible situation that DUDUDUNGA have to play for time and hope they can get more gems spawned on the map by constantly fragging out the gem carrier.
Omen Elite clears out those mines, sweeping straight through, and Tyrant Star looks insuperable. A full health Pam is going to be so hard to tear down in a 3v2. Omen Elite grab victory, the first win in this gym grab map, going to the world's qualifying team. If they win this match, they have almost guaranteed that victory over Tempo would put them in the winning position. They ought to be able to do it if they win here and now, Tridd.
Absolutely, they need to equalize the series, then push towards a overall match victory. We've taken the first game of Minecart Madness, but we still got at least one more to go. DUDUDUNGA can make some adaptations here and potentially clap back, because they themselves only need to win this map, and then they will go on a 2-0 scoreline for the group stage, guarantee themselves first place, and it will all come down to the Tempo versus Omen showdown, which is coming up next.
Look, sometimes they'll clown around when they know that the loss has already come in, but when they are playing to win it, DUDUDUNGA makes some really off-the-cuff moves that have surprised me in the past, but picked up wins where they seem almost impossible. DUDUDUNGA are a very sneaky squad. They are playing wild and proud right now, charging straight into the defenses set up by Omen Elite here. When you think most teams would retreat, DUDUDUNGA will just surprise and are super quick on their feet to make their way back in.
All they can do is claim territory. That's a slightly bad spawn for the gem there, as Sky will pick one up. Having to do it, run straight onto the tripwire. Minecart will block the damage, but it bounces back and forth. Yet again, Corey able to find these kills and get themselves the gem. They're extending their lead. Woody, Marley attempting to walk forward to get some gems back in their favor, but just can't do it. There's too much pressure from the Pam and the Sprout to lock them in. And Minwoong gonna go down the ropes. Can't protect you, buddy. as he jumps into the healing embrace of his healing station.
I can't count the number of times that Molly has been able to escape with just double-digit hit points, barely holding on. Look at that Sprout Super from Corey denying access to that mid-gem, and looks like Molly has finally found an opportunity to hold his mid position, but no! A big launch from King Zulon! The tripwire stuns the whole enemy crowd, and that is going to be it. Countdown has started for Omen Elite, and they are looking to tie up this match with a win in gem grab.
That's all that aggression for DUDUDUNGA. There's 10 seconds remaining. Yes, they enter into the exact same trap they had last time, Woody. They may get the kills, but they probably will not get the gems out. And it's looking like they might not even get that, because Corey seals off the entrance. And Omen Elite take us to set number 5.
This match is not over yet. DUDUDUNGA trying their hardest to get first place in the region, and all they need is one more set win to do it. But Omen Elite have got their eyes on World Finals. That $9,000 prize pool for this month is the least of their concerns. If they defeat DUDUDUNGA and Tempo Storm back-to-back, they are going on to win an even bigger reward.
Oh, yes, they are, Woody. Oh, yes, they are. Set number 5 coming up shortly, but let's take a look at the stat line first. All in favor of Omen, unless there was any, if there was any doubt. We're just going to put that to bed immediately, that Omen dominated the stat line for that game. They had the most control they've had over this series so far on that map, I feel.
Well, it all comes down to this, as we've said so many times before. Close teams have got to have one tip over the edge. The scales of fate are hanging in the balance. Will it be DUDUDUNGA, the first place squad, taking that $9,000 prize and putting Omen Elite and Tempo Storm in an awkward position where they might have to play 2 matches following up? Or will Omen Elite be able to clinch it now, down but not out against DUDUDUNGA, and seeking to take advantage of this upcoming heist map in Kaboom Canyon to finish it all off?
Final destination for this series, Woody, like you said, Kaboom Canyon, the heist map type. And what we've seen today from both regions, a lot of throwers being put onto the field for this one. I'm hoping there'll be more of the same. And look at that, you got the Nani, the Spike, and the B for Omen Elites. But then DUDUDUNGA, they themselves are going to roll out with something a little bit more control. They still keep Minwoo on the Pam, but they will match the Spike and bring a Brock to the party.
There are very few obstacles on this map, and that plays very well to long-range brawlers. B and Nani coming in from Omen Elite speak volumes to me about what their strategy is going to be. They're going to play for midfield advantage, and then once they can push into those bushes, it's going to be super tough for DUDUDUNGA to hold water against a tidal wave washing in on the bottom.
Have to back off for now, though. They don't have the confidence to move into the mid because there are sight lines. The Sky will gadget into control, but he doesn't have that escape as he's moving around. They've locked Marley in the corner. They got sights on it, and there's the pinch from Marley and Sky. And now they can open up onto this safe. They have to do a Tyrant Star in their base, but a lot of damage, giving DUDUDUNGA an early lead.
Tyrant Star at perfect range gets lots of damage on the safe, but he cannot hold on against Omen Elite. They are getting ripped apart down south. DUDUDUNGA have done it again, stacking the damage on top, and Minwoo will get the finishing blow, launch it into orbit. DUDUDUNGA with the pickup in that last set. Just need one more win.
Oh my god, Woody, the juggling of aggro around that safe at the end there. I think you managed to keep all members of DUDUDUNGA alive and in the area to deal damage to that safe, all from different angles, splitting the attention of Omen Elite and nailing damage at every opportunity. That was beautiful to watch from DUDUDUNGA, and like you said, they are one game away from securing this match and a first place finish at our final monthly final.
It was really a super clever play from Minwoo, facing off against Tyrant Star, watching that Nani fire away at his own safe, just be like, you know what, go for it, go for it. You have your one little brawler on our safe, meanwhile we are going to stack all 3 and wipe yours out. It is a super tough call to just let that damage trickle on in, but when you know you've got the advantage, you have got to push it.
Potentially final map coming in here, so Corey's going to bring the Brock to the party as well. Mirrored compositions for both Omen Elite and DUDUDUNGA. He's going to fight over this mid controls. Tyrant Star Take a couple of rockets. The second one rings true, and Sky takes the lead. Zulan next on the block. Now Marley can walk forward. The rocket rain from above, and DUDUDUNGA take a commanding lead over this game.
What a huge hit for DUDUDUNGA. Omen Elite are not having any chance in this early game. They are being repelled and pushed back to their own spawn, unable to keep pace against an impregnable defense from DUDUDUNGA. Holding on to the midfield, Minwoong's healing station is really helping out a lot. Sky and Minwoong are going to keep their position, but only 26% left for Omen Elite to hold on to.
And Sky, from this position, is still able to hit the rockets, so that means that Omen Elite have to body block. There's 12% remaining, Woody. This is not looking good for Omen Elite right now. They have to clear out all the members of DUDUDUNGA and get control of the mid so they can start their own offensive.
What has Sky done? He's knocked down his own wall for easier access at the enemy safe. If they could just get one brawler through this line of defense, they might have it. Omen Elite are not having any of it, though. With their last chance at victory, they take a shot at that safe up top, bringing it down to half hit points. But if Omen Elite can't hold off every single DUDUDUNGA player, this is going to be it.
And Tyrant Star nearly got in range to pop his gadget there, which is going to be brutal damage. They let the spike get on top of the safe. It's going to prove dangerous, but they have to be super defensive. They cannot let anyone sneak through. They can't let Marley go. He's on a beeline. In fact, they shut him down. 45 seconds remaining. Omen Elite have done a fantastic job at closing this gap, but they've still got 20% to go. The damage is going to tick out from the super from Tyrant Star. Dropping it closer. 30 seconds. This is going to come down to the wire, potentially, Woody.
Pulling out the BFG. DUDUDUNGA are cocked and loaded, and when they fire, there is no dud in the chamber. DUDUDUNGA in the lead on
Oh my god, that was big!
But they haven't been able to finish it off yet. Another few
Taking out Sky there was
from Corey and
huge.
Zulan.
They took it outside there was huge. They had the rocket rain. They're in range. Sky's going to burn it to get the kills rather than use it on the safe. 6% left in it. They have to push forward.
Guys going around!
Get on the safe.
He fires away. King Zulan's gonna block the shots. Additional damage from Tyrant.
Oh my god, they've done it, Woody!
Omen Elite pick up the win in game 2.
They should not have been able to come back from that with 12% remaining on their HP bar. They played the defensive game beautifully. They struck hard when they had opportunities, and they will force us out to a game number 3.
Choking down on Brock's rocket. DUDUDUNGA have faced off against a fearsome foe, and they could not hold their own. I cannot believe what we just saw. Down to 12% hit points on their safe. Omen Elite have somehow held their heads high and charged back into the action. DUDUDUNGA, what was going through your mind?
I have no idea, Woody, and as we come down to our last game, 3 teams are holding their breath right now because the outcome of this match sets a lot of stakes for our last one. It could make or break it for Tempo Storm, who are sitting on the sidelines, as Omen Elite and DUDUDUNGA will roll out with the same compositions for one last showdown.
Never before has a Brawl Stars Championship match had more on the line. $9,000 for this month's competition and a chance for Omen Elite to trounce their foes and move on to the World Finals. But they've got to pick up a reverse sweep against DUDUDUNGA, a team that was up high and mighty in game 1. That should have won game 2, but Omen Elite will not give up without a fight. This is their last chance at glory, and they are not throwing away their shot.
And they've already started dealing damage to the safe, Woody. DUDUDUNGA dropped by 16%. Sky kept on life support right now in the back corner, unable to reign supreme as he had done in the previous 2 matches. Corey looking to take territory away. We'll get a couple of rocket hits. The incendiary ticks afterwards as well. And now this is about the mid-control for DUDUDUNGA as they press forward. Sky, he's got a rocket rain in his pocket, but he needs to get closer before he can get in safe range. Gonna use it to instead destroy the healing turret. Kill coming in for Tyrant Star. They're looking to take out Sky. This has opened it up as Corey will now be in range to deal even more damage to the DUDUDUNGA safe.
Minwoong is in a lot of trouble, and Tyrant Star is not going to take this chance to get additional damage at the safe. Instead, he's going to suppress that big Pam defense from DUDUDUNGA. Down to 62%. DUDUDUNGA are in dire straits right now. They have got to make their way back to the mid. There's only 1 minute left, and the defense from King Zulan's looking strong. Minwoong pops down that healing turret, but King Zulan clearly has the advantage on the left side. A win for DUDUDUNGA on the right as they make their way back to the mid. Sky is going to fire off, tears down King Zulan, rips apart the safe, and fires the rocket rain.
Has to let it rain a few more times, Woody. There's 45 seconds remaining. They're a huge deficit that they had to climb back as much as Omen Elite did in the second game. They've still got a deficit to come back from. Mimru locked in the corner, being taken out. Sky trying to get these rockets. Zulan keeping a but they're going to be able to get the kill. Sky finds them, gets him in the range of the safe with the incendiary as well. It's all about burning the damage and closing the gap, but he's unable to do it. Tyrant Star and the rest of Omen Elite will walk forward with 20 seconds remaining, 15% in it.
Rory splashing through and finding maximum splash damage. Takes out Molly, and there's only 2 more attackers for DUDUDUNGA. Omen Elite in the lead. 7 seconds left. DUDUDUNGA can't make it down, and Omen have done it. The reverse sweep grabs victory against DUDUDUNGA. Omen Elite are moving on.
Moving on to the World Championship, and suddenly Tempo not looking too happy with the way things happened. They will only be able to compete for monthly final placement in a final match of our day. There is no tiebreaker left on the card. Omen Elite dismantle DUDUDUNGA at the final hurdle.
Omen Elite are going to the World Finals. Even a loss against Tempo Storm, which were defeated in a 3-0 by DUDUDUNGA, would not be enough to put them back out on top against an Omen Elite squad. What an impressive display of chutzpah. Omen Elite forcing their way back into this match and clambering to the top, ringing the bell, and they get an easy walkover in match number 3.
Well, let's go ahead and throw it over to Falcone to set the state of play, moving into our third match.
Well, if that wasn't the comeback of the century, I don't know what it was. Those were the most insane games of Heist I've ever seen, but let's talk about our MVP for that match. It's gonna be Tyrant Star. Oh, right, okay. Now, we need to go back and actually remind ourselves what happened earlier on in what was actually a really lengthy series there, because Omen Elite did not have the best start there. Like what he said, it was practically a reverse sweep. But as Barley, Tyrant Star was able to deal too much damage for DUDUDUNGA to keep up with in Siege. In gem grab, Tyrant Star played a very sturdy Pam, keeping control of the game and bringing the series all the way to set 5. And again, comeback of the century by Omen Elite in that second game of Heist, fighting for their lives in the match. They were able to take it back. It was amazing. Pam, Tyrant Star moving forward slowly, repelling the enemy with every single thing that they had. And then in that final game, just staying in the center, playing as defensively as possible, and it all paid off and all came together for Omen Elite, which means if we take a little look at the bracket, things aren't looking good for Tempo Storm. Yes, they are going to face off against Omen Elite next, but I don't believe, as Woody was saying, I don't believe that there is a way for Tempo Storm to now win the entire group, meaning that it's not looking like they're going to be able to qualify for the global finals. Either way, we've got a big match coming up, and at the very least, it's going to be a big grudge match as we have Omen Elite versus Tempo Storm. We've got Corey, we've got Super Sai, Tyrant Star, and Zulan up against Alec, OG, and Bobby. These two teams have quite the storied rivalry now. Week after week, they've been facing off. They've been so close in the leaderboards. And here we go. Omen Elite first. Omen Elite believe that they've always been a top-tier team, but that they've started to dominate overall since the second half of the Brawl Stars Championship. Well, this is a great opportunity for them to prove themselves, although they definitely did so against DUDUDUNGA just there. Omen Elite feel particularly favorable when it comes to gem grab and bounty on layer cake specifically. Well, now we know what they're going to want to see come up in this next match, but let's talk about Tempo Storm, another team that all year long have been putting up their very best fight. Alec says that Tempo Storm have improved at everything since they started to play together in 2018. Bobby says that this means they can now poke fun at each other because they're good friends and no one really minds. Now, I'm getting word that it's not quite 100% apparently for Omen Elite to qualify. There are still tiny little outs for Tempo Storm, so they are going to be giving it their very best in this final, most important match of the weekend.
Thank you very much, Falcone. The LA region today is blowing my mind. So much on the line, and the games are super, super exciting.
Absolutely, Ark, and let's have a look at our bans quickly. It's Gene and Sprout being taken off the field, and let's try and dispel some of the confusion that's going around. Now, we keep talking about how Omen qualified, and there's doubt being cast on that. Shouldn't be the case, really. Try and make it as simple as possible. The 10-point difference is only really recoverable with a guaranteed first place finish by one of the two teams. That hasn't happened. So now we end up going to a tiebreaker, potentially, if Tempo Storm finish above Omen Elite, because that in second and third place. Because if Tempo gets second, they will then get more points. Omen will get more points, but it will put them on equal points, which forces out a head-to-head tiebreaker. Now, the only way that happens, like I said, is if Tempo can finish second place. Now, Tempo have already lost the series 0-3. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ark.
Yeah, I think Tempo Storm needs to get a 3-0 win, which is unlikely, but it's a possibility. I think it's a 3-1 to tie potentially, but the pressure to do that is going to be very, very hard for them to do.
Absolutely, as they're going to be fighting up against one of the most dominant teams in North America. But the point is, Ark, as long as Tempo Storm can finish in second place today, they will force out the tiebreaker. If they finish in last place, then Omen Elite are, without a doubt, going to the World Championship.
Well, it's a good start for Omen Elite already, and shots on OG goes down, giving gems, or 1 gem, which is enough for Tyrant to bring it up to 5. And Corey breaking the wall then to open up the map to his advantage, popping the gadget, and shots off on Bobby there connect.
We get the shot on the Bobby, but not going to get the kill. They still maintain mid-control as Zulan and Corey and Tyrant Star edge closer to victory. 8 gems to 2. They're about to get the time online. Great shot from Bobby, actually. Going to bring down the pipe, and that forces Zulan to switch over to the role of gem carrier, which isn't ideal. They're getting healed up by the gravity as Alec will sweep away a gem. Tyrant Star looking to claim that for himself. 10-2, countdowns on the clock.
And Corey with the snipes again, shutting down Bobby. It's going to mean that Alec is alone on his own, and he knows it. The crying face says it all. Tyrant going in as well for victory spins, and that is going to seal the deal for the first round of gem grab for Omen Elite.
Taking the first game, setting the tone right for how they want to proceed through the rest of this series. They did, of course, go down to the wire and make sure that they had a good showing against DUDUDUNGA. But Omen Elite still need to find a way to win out this series as well. They've taken the first game. We're looking towards game number 2.
Yeah, they've had a serious boost from the last round. I mean, DUDUDUNGA played fantastically well today, so beating them as Tempo Storm failed to do has got to be feeling good right about now. And we might be seeing the first set go their way if they can just continue that forwards into gem grab, the final, potentially final game right here. Any changes on the card? Zulan's going with Spike, Corey with Piper, Tyrant with Carl. And we know that Alec likes to play a lot of Carl, so I'm keen to see what happens in this left side lane here.
Well, move over to the side. Oh, there we go. Zulan going to take a kill down there as Corey will get himself some more gems and take control of the mid.
Okay, Corey with the 4 gems then, trying to find out Bobby again, who, as we saw in that last game, was struggling in the 1v1. If Corey can get Super to break some of these walls, that would go very much in Omen's favor. Popping the gadget again, connects with OG, and Zulan with the curveball star power to finish him off.
You just got confirmation, Ark. You were right. There was a little bit up in the air. Provided that Tempo Storm can win this match with a 3-0 set scoreline, they will get the tiebreaker. If Omen win a single set, the tiebreaker will not happen.
Well, it might be happening right now with only 1 gem for countdown. There's the countdown. This is the moment then that Tempo Storm needs to prevent, and a shot on Corey leaves him low. OG can smell it, but they've got to secure these kills. Tyrant going very low here. 5 seconds left. Bobby going in with desperation. Connects with Corey, but Corey jumps. It's all over. Omen Elite then victorious and going to Worlds.
We believe the confirmation was after the last game, Ark. It just took one more set to prove it as true. Omen Elite pack your bags, or, well, maybe not. We'll see what happens with the actual format. We still need more information about how we're going to play this one out. But they are going to the World Championship. That is all that matters. And now Tempo Storm just have to play this one out, because I don't believe that because of that loss, they can actually change their standings for the rest of today. They will be finishing in 3rd place.
Oh, I can barely speak. This region has honestly astounded me today. The quality of these games that we're seeing in all players, you can just see how much it means to them in the way that they are just never giving up, persevering at every turn. Going into safe zone up next, set number 2, Heist. My goodness me, everyone today, no matter what the result, can be absolutely proud of how they performed.
But you know what, Ark? You know what's really important now is that, like I said, the standings don't matter. The standings can't change at this point. So what it does mean is that the weight, the relief, it's gone. There's no more stress. It's over, right? So now you can play with a clear head, knowing that the outcome is inconsequential. That could lead to some creative plays. That could lead to you looking on stuff to put into your highlight reel. That could lead to stuff that you wouldn't try under normal conventions. So this series can still be incredibly entertaining despite the removal of some of the stakes.
Yeah, and prize money as well. You know, both of these teams want to come back with maximum funds today. And we're actually going to be seeing Max played by Alec here, as well as the bans with Gene and Sprout. So both Zulan and Alec going with that brawler pick, which we've not seen too much of today. So that interaction going to be quite enjoyable for me.
Oh yeah, Max on the field is always fun to see. Increase the tempo of the rate of the play. Tyrant Star taking a lot of attention in the mid. And so Omen Elite, who have had the largest safe deficit as of right now, that can always change quite quickly as they're dealing a lot of damage to Tempo Storms.
Yeah, the damage going down. Bobby with a nice angle there, getting supers down as well. More damage raining down on the Omen Elite safe, who are struggling a little bit now with the change of game mode. Looking to use all that healing qualities of the PAM station there to try to regroup in the mid to bring things back into play. And Alec going down will make a huge difference there. OG going down as well. Now Corey can connect with the save. Sulan going in as well. Alec dashing in out of desperation, but a great positioning here for Omen Elite.
Oh dear, Omen Elite. They're going to be pulling away with a slight edge here, 10% in their favor. Great counterattack from Tempo Storm. They're starting to clear the board of the Omen Elite members and opening up the safe themselves, but they haven't dealt with Corey until now. The Incendiary, after the death, will take it over the line, and Omen Elite pick up the first game in a set.
Going from strength to strength, you can just see how much it means to finish on a high. Under so much pressure in that game, but they were just very patient and cautious to stay alive, and that can make such a big difference, especially on safe zone. Having that mid control can make a huge difference to the outcome there.
Absolutely, Ark, and getting ready for game number 2. Omen Elite still looking incredibly dominant. Looking to close this one out very cleanly as well. If they get a 3-0 here, they can just silence any potential outcry at them being over to Worlds over Tempo Storm. Because you know the Tempo fans and a lot of North American fans are incredibly passionate. So they may be like, wow, you know, and given any other day, Tempo Storm might be going. No, if you 3-0 Tempo Storm right now, you silence any potential of that happening.
Exactly that. Well, no big changes here. We're still going to see Brock and Max going into the mid with the PAM. OG's the first full victim going down there in the mid, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Alec, who tries to dash with that invincibility. He actually does a great job of surviving as long as he did there. Bobby now in a great spot to get some shots. Staying cool, though, and looking to heal instead, it seems.
Yeah, we'll go ahead with that one as they press forward, mid-control over the Tempo Storm, layering over the healing turrets. Bobby's got a free sightline on the safe, and Corey's been shut down. It means Tempo Storm will edge out a slight victory over the safe lead right now.
Top of the gadget from Tyrant to get that value in, and Alex doing a great job again of staying alive under pressure, but does go down eventually. Bobby's got his super looking to connect, and Tyrant and Corey just disbanded away there. And now the pressure again from Alec to get this takedown on Corey. Jumps over the wall, but straight into the clutches of OG.
Not sure what the attempt was there. You always knew OG was going to be there waiting for you. So you just waste the gadget use to end up dying in a slightly different position. But it does mean that the whole scoreline is still equal in safe damage. Alec looking to tank up some of these rockets, and Takes a few too many, as now Omen Elite open up on the Tempo Storm safe, dropping it to around about 50% HP when all's said and done.
Yeah, Tyrant's in a nice spot here, just bringing back Bobby, forcing him onto the defense and baiting the super, staying alive still. Oh my goodness me! Tyrant staying alive there under pressure from Bobby, getting more additional shots onto the safe, and this is a great spot for Omen to capitalize right here.
Oh, absolutely, Ark. It's 24% remaining on the safe. They're blocking with everything they can, even using the healing turret in some regard. They've not dislodged the tick that is Tyrant Star in the back corner, and the safe damage keeps rumbling in. Omen Elite taking with a 2-0 scoreline. They take us to match points.
Finishing on a high, it seems, unless we see anything dangerously turn around here. Omen are looking to be the stronger of these two teams, but it's not over yet. We're going to go to another game mode and see whether Tempo Storm can start to claw this one back. But there were some incredible plays in that game. I've got to say, Tyrant staying alive in that moment for me was one of the highlights of that game.
Sometimes the way to win, Ark, is to not deal damage. It's just to not take damage. And that's somehow how you just win sometimes. Safe damage as expected for Omen, 90,000, capped out because they blew the safe up both times around. The damage towards each other, kind of even. There's about 8,000 in that, and the kills are only 3 separated. So not really an issue of dealing damage to each other. It's more about where the action was taking place and how many opportunities Omen were given to get in range of the safe for damage.
Exactly that, where those deaths and kills happen is a massive difference there. And Omen, Olive Branch up next. Going to be going to Siege, very confined map. So, worth mentioning again that Sprout is banned, Gene is banned, who's obviously a very big brawler here in terms of how this game mode plays out. So, having Sprout, though, I feel is going to, having Sprout out of the mix, I feel is going to make a huge difference on this particular map. And what these teams choose as their brawler comps, we may even see a Rico just to shut down those like small channels on the side or something crazy like that. Who knows?
Who knows? It's a good question, Ark, actually. With the Rico potentially in play, I know how much you're a fan of that particular brawler. But no Rico, just his fellow Robo comrade and Barley for the time minute for Corey. And I am not seeing a Rico at all, as we will now get Barley replicated on both sides. It's mirror compositions, apart from the Carl instead of the Max.
Yeah, I think this is the better comp for sure. Barley and Max here for me. Probably giving Omen Elite the edge, I would say, as OG has forced back then under a lot of scrutiny, and Tyrant there getting those heals will allow him to hold this right side lane despite the shots from Bobby onto that bolt. Juking nicely. I like the unpredictability that we're seeing from Omen Elite today for me.
They will look towards forcing Tempo Storm back out of the mid. Tyrant Star can dip over and grab the bolt in the right channel, keeping the bolt count similar for the time being. Do it towards the next siege. Still keeping it even Stevens across the board. OG has complete dominance over the left-hand lane, and, well, Omen Elite have it on the right, so it makes it incredibly difficult to find the definitive edge. It's all about the mid control, and they keep exchanging them back and forth. Tyrant Star forced away from that one. Bolt going in favor of OG. That might be the lead coming out for Tempo Storm. They might be able to get the ninth bolt here. They're trying to answer back fast. And Zulan, if they can bank that one, it's going to be another siege. Oh, it came in just a fraction too late, and Tempo Storm will get that level 9 siege bar.
I gotta say, I think that was part of the plan. I think that Omen Elite did that very tactically, strategically. They know with a solid defense here, the next round could be a big one for them. OG going in, and Bobby with shots as well for desperation. I don't think it's enough. There you go, 11 in the bank for the next round. Omen Elite in a great spot now.
I feel as though Tempo Storm are the damsel in distress that have been tied up with ropes on the train tracks. They can see the train coming, they hear the horn arc, and there's nothing they can do about it. 13 bolts is just an insurmountable lead with the time given. There's no way Tempo can match that, and they have to defense. Have a Stalingrad-style hold against what could be a level 18 siege bot.
It's going to be, a level 17 coming in, and this is going to be storming down the middle of this map. Tyrant with the speed dash as well, but I think it's not going to be nearly enough as it connects already. Such an early point on, and that damage now rolling in. Omen Elite are going to be victorious and moving on to match point.
Oh no, the Tempo Storm fans are reeling, Ark. They're about to be swept by Omen Elite. team that is going to Worlds in their stead. Just one game separates that from happening. One last chance to trigger the comeback and end the season on a high. And it comes down to this next game of Siege.
Very, very tactical banking of those bolts there. Omen couldn't have planned that better. They knew they had to have a hard defense, but if they could see the other side of that, the next round was going to be all theirs. Even despite a solid round for Tempo Storm banking bolts, they had enough in the bag there to guarantee that push. So I got to say, saving the way that they did to allow that Tempo Storm push, very smart in my opinion.
Alrighty then, let's move forward with this one. 20 seconds remaining for the first Siege. Typically doesn't have the impact we expect, but it does set the tone for the rest of the match. Tyrant Star able to get that bolt on the left. OG has the right channel to himself. We're looking towards what happens in the mid-spawning. OG needs to die here. Not able to get another bolt after that one. Early lead for Tempo Storm. Not been answered back by Omen. 1 second remaining. Tyrant Star can't bank them in time, but sets them up nicely for the second Siege.
Shots onto the bot, getting that early damage in. It's still continuing to come, and Alec and Bobby now have a great chance to get some shots off. It might be a pretty disastrous first push for Omen Elite here as Tempo Storm start to come back with a bit of fight.
It's good they've dropped it by 43% on a level 2 Siege bot. That's quite impressive considering how much they had to play with. Now they need to find a stronger push towards finishing this one off. If we have an Omen Elite bot shutout, then there's no comeback potential for them. Omen Elite have absolute control of the next 2 Sieges. They can easily win this back.
They're going to bank there and one there. They can actually save, I guess. They're actually going to bank it now to make sure that they get the round, and they're going to actually get a tie. My goodness me! There was no way that that was going to be a tie, but they've actually timed that again, yet again, to perfection to carry it over into the next round to be banked there. This could be a great push for Omen Elite here.
Oh my god, they're banking bolts even more, but the problem is now they've left themselves wide open for a comeback for Tempo Storm, because if Tempo Storm can match the bolts and have a tied siege for the final Siege, or potentially win it out, it'll all be over for Omen Elite. They're playing a very dangerous game, Ark.
Very, very dangerous, but hey, the team that dares tends to win, as Alex gonna go down there, not gonna bank that bolt. 13 to 11, OG with the 12, Bobby with the 13. There could be a tie Tridd here. You might well be right.
Absolute disaster if it's a tie. Omen Elite. Oh no, one last bolt to do it. OG might end up getting the 15th bolt. They do, and there's no answer back from Omen Elite. 16 to 14. It's all over. Tempo Storm. They win this game and they keep the series alive a little bit longer.
Nice to see the fight coming back. The Tempo Storm that we know and love. Not going to make this an entire sweep and want to finish things on their own terms. You love to see it. We're going to be going yet again to seeing more from both of these two teams as they clash.
Calculated rollovers. I've never... Ark, if I told you that I had a winning lottery ticket and I didn't claim it so that I could end up with having another attempt at a larger jackpot, what would you do? You'd probably slap me and call me an idiot. That's exactly what Omen Elite just did. If they purposely and intentionally sat on those bolts to have a larger final siege and attempt to equalize the tie, as an intended effect, that was a gamble that just did not pay off, and I think was not even a necessary one to take. We're now into the final game though. We've got Tyrant Star on a surge, already found 2 upgrades, and the level 2 siege bot to start breathing down Tempo's neck.
Yeah, Corey wants to finish off this side lane. He's actually going to leave it, so there will be Bobby who'll be coming back down the left-hand side. I think he actually got a kill there on Zulan as well, so staying alive there. And there's the surge stacks are there already. My goodness me, that did not take long. Look at the damage from this first push, Tridd.
Yep. That's a max level surge, and Tyrant Star can just sit on this provided they don't die. They have the super to have those invincibility frames to dodge out damage. There's a lot of problems on the side of Tempo to let this keep happening. But of course, Surge did get reined in a bit. He's not going to have the spread on bullets unless he makes a connection on a target, so you don't have to worry about having this weird spread of damage coming out.
The level 5 attack now then for Omen Elite. Corey did a great job holding lane, and it was kind of smart just to kind of keep Bobby there, but not actually let him be too relevant in the bolts that would need to be picked up by Tempo Storm now. This level 5 is being delayed very successfully though. Omen Elite looking to take a bit of a back foot here. The bot goes down, not much damage, but the control all with Omen Elite.
And where we see that level, max level surge coming in again is getting that extra bit of damage out. Final Siege. Bolt lead in favor of Tempo Storm. Currently, Omen Elite have control of the map. Zulan's in the middle, keeping them away from that channel. Alec finding the kill on Corey to steal the Bolt away. Omen Elite have taken a lead in the box, but it's climbing fast. It's going to be neck and neck. There's the spin in from OG to try and contest him. Tyrant Star with the super over the top to avoid the damage, but he will lose all of those stacks. So the damage threat from Omen is gone, and Tempo Storm get a final Siege bot to try and equalize the damage. They need to clear 50% in this push.
It's going to be a big defense here from Omen Elite, and there's a lot of Temperstorm players around. Bobby with the super going out, OG with the shots, Alec coming in to support. Is it going to be enough?
No, they've done it. They've done it. Tempo Storm are going to be able to clean this one out. And they take the third set, bringing us to a 2-1 scoreline.
My goodness me, Temperstorm really wanted those games in their pocket in Siege, and what a commendable effort. The majority of the time, Omen Elite has some great moments of control there, but being able to bounce back and, under pressure is where the best players lie, and that's what we saw from Temperstorm there, just persevering and seeing it through right until the end.
Well, we're now in a situation where Tempo Storm, like I said, they cannot qualify for the World Championship, but they can still go out with a good scoreline and get a victory over Omen Elite. Win the moral victory, or the victory in the court of public opinion, if you will, Ark, because they can't really change their standing. Can't get more prize money out this month. They can't go to the World Championship. So now it's all about just like keeping the Tempo Storm team opinion high.
Exactly that. Canal Grande up next, one of my personal favorites, and yeah, a lot of the brawlers that we see in this map are very different from that we tend to see in Siege. Again, if you're just joining the bands with Gene and Sprout, so Sprout is a dominant force on Canal Grande, and we're not going to be seeing any of that. Expect potentially some Jackie or a bit of Max yet again. Max is actually kind of viable now. Pipers and Brocks and all those long-range brawlers that we know and love.
Okie dokie. What could be the final match, and I've said that already because of the way Omen have been playing has looked incredibly dominant until a few hiccups there on Siege. We're going to be moving over to, I believe, Heist is our next map type. I've already forgotten the graphic as it's come up, Ark. But no, it's Canal Grande, it's Banty. What am I talking about? There we go. Remembered it. You just have to visualize it in my head, if you will.
Going in then, Zulan and Tyrant going with the classic combo. Actually, tick on both sides as well. The only differential here is going to be Alec running Surge, who looks like in a bit of a tight spot already, so no stacks for him early on. But if you're going to die as Surge, you want to do it early on, I guess. But those stars then go straight into the Omen pocket.
They're able to play safely at range because they're running the Brock and the Piper, but they allow Alec to get in point-blank range, loses all of those stars immediately to Corey. So the lead maintains in favor of Omen Elite until Bobby finds a sharp shot onto Corey. Oh, it's at the star line. They're looking for Tyrant Star. Bobby takes the lead for Tempo. 4 stars in the pocket, and Zulan will blow up some of the cover.
The angle that Bobby managed to get there was such a tight squeeze, but make it he did. But the stars now tied on 8 apiece. Alec going in aggressively, might regret it if he gets hit by Zulan, which he does. And now Corey with the pickup, pinching him into a rock and a hard place, goes down to 10. But an instant return from Temperstorm brings them the lead, 11-10.
Bobby has just been on fire with these shots. He finds another one onto Tyrant Star, creating a 3-star lead with 45 seconds remaining. And Bobby's already having a good time. It's going to be even better for him because he can just destroy more of this cover, make it even more dangerous for the Ticks to go forward and try and find the damage. But he's the super to get to safety, cannot go down. He's a high priority target with all those stars on his head.
Yeah, Corey, look at him here, pinching Bobby right into the corner, gets the takedown on OG, and then Tyrant with the pickup on Alec. This is fantastic from Omen Elite, and what a time to have it. With 10 seconds, there's not anything that Alec can really do, and he's actually just going to stand there and take it because the timer is not going to be enough to stop this Omen Elite retreat.
So here's the bounty conundrum, right, Ark? Bobby is your most proficient fragger on this map. He has 6 stars on his head. The pressure's reeling in. He doesn't want to lose them and immediately throw the lead over to Omen Elite, so backs off. Now, when that happens, you lose so much pressure on the map that now all the damage dealers and all of the damage on Omen can just take out Alec with no problem whatsoever. Can take out can take out OG with no problem whatsoever because Bobby is handicapping himself to protect those stars. It's such a weird position and an uncomfortable one to be in.
Yeah, and how do you respond now if you're Temperstorm? I mean, we know like Bobby likes to play a lot of Mortis and will bring that out sporadically, and sometimes those picks that can be like...
This is the series to do it, Ark. I mean, like I said, it's one that you can't really affect the outcome of too much of the wider things. Like, if you want to bring out a Mortis for what could be your last showing, why not? Let's do it. Let's see it, Bobby.
I've never heard you excited for the Mortis picture. This is a different side that we're seeing today.
That's not excitement. That is exception and contemption. But no, wacky picks aside, OG brings out the Dynamite.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were sitting and playing it today, and he played it incredibly well.
And immediately
on
dies. Okay.
Yeah. But nonetheless, he's shown that he can perform under pressure, but maybe this is just too much pressure as the second death is in. And Corey's sitting there with a fat 4 stars above his head.
OG's kind of, I think he was doing kind of a little bit of a wacky racist kind of thing there, where he's just like spinning around, constantly throwing out dynamite when there was no real threat on him. And Omen Elite are just crumbling Tempo Storm like cupcakes. There's just nothing that Tempo have done this game that has inspired confidence that they're going to be able to tie this one out and force back another series resurrection, if you will.
Yeah, if you Temperstorm 10 stars to 2 is not what you want to see with 1 minute still remaining in the game, and the kills keep flying in. Tyrant able to defend that. But at the moment, you've got to remember, Omen Elite are on match point here. This is not the time to be dropping the ball.
You see what OG's doing constantly? He's just spinning around. I think they've accepted that this is a loss because he's just burning abilities when no one's in range. And Alec's now been burnt through. Bobby is about to get murdered, I assume. But it actually finds a kill onto Zulan, so that's not too bad. Starting to close that gap. Tyrant taking the first bit of damage. Gadgets away. Will dodge the second shot to keep himself alive. Rocket Rain online. Bobby will get up close and personal. Finds a kill, actually. It's only a 3-star gap right now. Omen Elite have taken their foot off the pedal a bit and are now starting to feel the punishment of that. But no, here comes Zulan. Takes out Bobby. Forces it out to a 6-star lead.
10 seconds left. It could all change here. Alec dropping their head, going for Tyrant. It shuts it down. This could be a spawn jumping, but Alec goes down. That is going to mean it's going to be very difficult for Temperstorm to do anything here. 18-16 is the final score on the board. Omen Elite victorious today against Temperstorm and going to Worlds.
Yeah, they go to Worlds. They get their second place. No, they get their first place finish, don't Omen Elite now, because they got the 2-0 scoreline. So, yeah. This is good for Omen. Great final month in there. A great final showing in our final monthly final. God, that's a mouthful. Final monthly final. Was that the correct term we should be using, Ark?
Yeah, it's confusing, right? I think so. Or last.
Okay, it's the last one. It's the last monthly final of the year. There we go. Now we don't have the repetition. Omen Elite able to deal a great blow to Tempo Storm. They're going to the World Finals. We have no more of these left to give you, viewers. The only thing left is the World Championship and, of course, a show closer from Falcone.
Thank you, Tridd. What a day it has been. Hearts have been broken this weekend, Tribe and Tempo Storm in particular, but now we have to congratulate Omen Elite, and we have to congratulate our last MVP of the monthly finals, and that is going to be Corey. In the first game, we saw one of the heartbreaking moments for Tempo Storm was Piper leaping into the air with all of the gems and taking away Tempo Storm's chance for global finals. You're about to see the jump. There it is. And that was the moment, really, that we celebrated for Omen Elite. They are the champions. We saw as Brock in Heist, so much damage being dealt against the safe, as we always see Brock do in Heist with the incendiary rockets. There was a little bit of a hiccup in Siege later on, but it didn't matter because ultimately, moving back to Bounty, Omen Elite took their final win with Corey playing a very consistent, very calm tick, staying back and preventing any movement really from the other teams at all. But there you have it. Here's the group. Here is the final results. Omen Elite taking that first place spot, securing their spot in the Brawl Stars Global Finals taking place next month. DUDUDUNGA coming in second place, blocking Tempo Storm's chances entirely, and Tempo Storm sadly sitting in third. So next we're going to look at prize money as usual and see what Omen Elite have won. $9,000 with $2,000 going to DUDUDUNGA and $1,250 going to Tempo Storm. But seriously, $9,000 is the least of Omen Elite's worries, as the casters were saying earlier, as it was all about qualifying for globals for them, as they have. Here is the leaderboard with 270 points. Omen Elite are the team qualifying from North America and LATAM North. We will be seeing them again next month. And there you go. We're going to see all of the teams that have qualified in just a moment, as I finally tying a little bow on our monthly finals. There we go. From EU and MEA, CODEMAGIC, Clash, and SK. From LATAM South, we've got INTZ. From APAC, we've got Jupiter and PSG. From China, we've got Nova. And finally, from North America and LATAM North, we've got Omen Elite. These are the 8 teams that will be competing next month on November 21st and November 22nd in our global finals. Of course, you'll be catching that here at youtube.com/Brawl Stars Esports. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. This is now the home, the hub of all future Brawl Stars Esports content. But I think that just about wraps things up here. It's been a great show. And from our wonderful production team, from Ark, from Tridd, from Woody, and from myself, I want to thank you so much for watching. And we cannot wait to see you in the global finals next month.